This is all fast asleep. Oh. So cute. So cute. Hey, Booba. Hey. Kind of woke up a little bit there? Sleepy thing? Ugh. Mango. Well, hello. Psst. Look at you perking your little head up, huh? Yeah? Yeah, you little sweet thing? You sweet thing, you. Look at you. Look at you. You so cute. So damn cute, bro. You're ridiculous. Zukov. My goodness, baby. Look at you. Look at you. Ridiculous. Put that out of the way for now. There we go. Oh, boom. Something from the background music. All that fun stuff. All that fun, good stuff. Yeah. Goddamn. Yawning so much. Look. Oh, goddamn. Took off. What you doing? What you doing, bro? This time cops run off out on the outside. Ran off the backyard and left me alone, how dare he? How dare that little son of a bitch? Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ. Brain, wake the fuck up. Okay, that felt great. That amazing. Holy shit. I guess this entire nug is an eighth? Or well over an eighth? Holy shit. Damn. It's huge. Ignore finally lives a White Claw. And I've had White Claw before. I've had it on stream before too. Look at this little fat ass son of a bitch. This thing like weighs over 4 grams. It's like, Jesus. It's called apple fritter. Or is that an apple fritter? Or is this the fritter? Oh my god! This is even bigger. Jesus, okay. Don't mess with the claw. The claw. The claw. Oh, I'm high off that one. Damn, son. The damn, son. It begins. Sri Lankan economy collapses. Presidential palace stormed in. Set up. Dude, Kyle's reported on Sri Lankan shit. Have you heard anything about that? Shit's fucking based. Like, legit. I wish, like, what's going on in Sri Lanka would happen a little more, you know, like, not the negative shit going on, but what people are doing in response to the negative shit. Like, I'd like to see that. Like, mass just revolt because their government sucks. It's just like, based. Can we just have more of that, please? I mean, all I have to say is just solidarity to the Sri Lankans are fighting that shit. Fighting a good fight, basically. I also saw that reported by, like, some news around here on TV when I was on lunch, like, yesterday. And just because I happened to, you know, also, you know, my dad's room when he had news on. And they were reporting on that shit and actually giving a relatively positive view towards the protesters and shit, actually. I was like, alright. I mean, considering that, like, the police and the fucking government are essentially out there with Kalashnikovs and fucking, like, tear gas and fucking militarized, like, gear and shit. I mean, yeah, like, you got a bunch of people throwing rocks and getting upset over, you know, food shortages and, you know, a lot of other issues. Just their government being so corrupt that they won't even acknowledge your fucking people. So, good shit. That's all I know. Yeah, Bobby. Come here. Stand up. Stand. Stand up. Stand up. Here, sit. Let me move it over for you. There you go. Sit. Or not. Little Fruit Loop. Man, what a goofball. Oh, that felt fucking good. Oh, man. I feel fucking tired as fuck today. And I'm pretty sure this heat is not helping at all. With it being like well over 90 today. I don't know how much like the height of it was today, but I imagine it was probably like 95 or something. It was just fucking like, ugh. It looks like TJ is doing another video for his video streak. Definitely want to check out in a minute. There, oh. Yeah, I should kind of check out some of his Sri Lankan shit.
What's happening in Sri Lanka is insane. So, let me just start. I'll show you some of the videos of what's going on the ground. Protesters in Sri Lanka have stormed the president's home in their nation's capital. This should be much bigger news. So let me show you this video. This is out of this world. Look at all those people.
Damn.
Look at this.
Oh my god, dude, look at them all charge. Dude, look at them go.
Look at all these people.
Oh my god. Fuck yes.
They literally did like a 1, 2, 3 charge thing.
Holy shit, that's
wow.
so... Dude, that's fucking based.
Yeah. Now, we're going to get into why this happened, how this happened, etc. Let me give you one more video of this.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Dude, watching all those people in that little, like, morph of a crowd. That blob of a crowd just, like, slowly just morph and collage its way, or, like, you know, just like, slowly just, like, slither its way into that fucking, like, palace going up those steps. Oh my god, dude. Fucking just charging up that shit, just, like, he probably got, like, a couple of guards at the very top of the gate, just like, I don't think our 30 round magazines and our guns are gonna do anything to this massive crowd. Dude, it's just, I love it. Can we seriously?
3 a.m. in New York. I wish more people were up right now to see this because this is so crazy. It's the middle of the afternoon in Sri Lanka, and people have stormed the presidential palace. So again, you get an even better camera angle of all the people that are out there.
It's just fucking packed.
Look at this.
Packed. Fucking packed. Oh, damn. Dude, fucking... dude, like, half the country's out there. Oh, dude. Oh, dude, hold up. We gotta look at that dude waving the flag. Oh, dude, that guy is awesome. Dude, you always gotta give it for, like, the dudes that grab, like, a pole and the flag and just stand right at the top of, like, some ledge and just hold it up, dude. Those are always the iconic motherfuckers. Dude, oh my god, look at that. That's so fucking legit. Dude, that's so awesome.
There were videos of people in the pool, the presidential pool.
I'd be in it. Hell yeah.
In, you know, his main office. So, what's going on? Well, let's go to the AP here. Explainer, why Sri Lanka's economy collapsed and what's next. Sri Lanka's prime minister said late last month that the island nation's debt-laden economy had collapsed as it runs out of money to pay for food and fuel. Food and fuel. That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? I mean, these are to pay for imports of such necessities, and already defaulting on its debt, it is seeking help from neighboring India and China and from the International Monetary Fund. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who took office in May, was
I think you butchered that there, Kyle.
The monumental task he faced in turning around an economy he said was heading for rock bottom. On Saturday, both he and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa agreed to resign amid mounting pressure from protesters who stormed both their residences and set fire to one of them. So,
nice.
This is, you know, this is these guys going, shit, I'm in over my head, this is too difficult, I don't know how to handle this, I don't want to get killed, I don't want my head on a stake. So you know what? I will offer to resign. Sri Lankans are skipping meals.
I mean, honestly, that's not exactly, like, the biggest, like, concessions, you know, the dude could do. It's just like, I'm just gonna resign and, like, hide away in the corner. It's like, honestly, that's probably the best outcome for you, buddy. But, yeah, I mean, that doesn't exactly make anybody feel better. I'm pretty sure most of Sri Lankans probably want to fucking have your head on a stick still.
Lining up for hours to try to buy scarce fuel. It's a harsh reality for a country whose economy had been growing quickly.
Jesus Christ, when you literally prioritize fuel over food because fuel's so goddamn scarce.
With a growing and comfortable middle class until the latest crisis deepened. How serious is this crisis? The government owes $51 billion and is unable to make interest payments on its loans, let alone put a dent in the amount borrowed. Tourism, an important engine of economic growth, has sputtered because of the pandemic and concerns about safety after terror attacks in 2019, and its currency has collapsed by 80%, making imports more expensive and worsening inflation that is already out of control, with food costs rising 57%, according to official data. The result is a country hurtling towards bankruptcy with hardly any money to import gasoline, milk, cooking gas, and toilet paper. Political corruption is also a problem. Not only did it play a role in the country squandering its wealth, but it also complicates any fiscal rescue for Sri Lanka. Anit Mukherjee, a policy fellow and economist at the Center for Global Development in Washington, said any assistance from the IMF or World Bank should come with strict conditions to make sure the aid isn't mismanaged. Still, Mukherjee noted that Sri Lanka sits in one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, so letting a country of such strategic significance collapse is not an option. Tropical Sri Lanka normally is not lacking for food, but people are going hungry. The UN World Food Program says nearly 9 of 10 families are skipping meals or otherwise skimping to stretch out their food, while 3 million are receiving emergency humanitarian aid. Doctors have resorted to social media to try to get critical supplies of equipment and medicine. Growing numbers of Sri Lankans are seeking passports to go overseas in search of work. Government workers have been given an extra day off for 3 months to allow them time to grow their own food. In short, people are suffering and desperate for things to improve.
It's wow. So basically, the government's so fucked that it's just like, just here's like some ways to where you can kind of like maybe grow your own food and just like kind of rough it out. Yeah, just get good luck. Have fun with that.
In such dire straits. Economists say the crisis stems from domestic factors, such as years of mismanagement and corruption. Much of the public's ire has focused on President Rajapaksa and his brother, the former prime minister. The latter resigned in May after weeks of anti-government protests that eventually turned violent. Conditions have been deteriorating for the past several years. In 2019, Easter suicide bombings at churches and hotels killed more than 260 people. That devastated tourism, a key source of foreign exchange.
Well,
the
that sucks.
needed to boost its revenues as foreign debt for big infrastructure projects soared. but instead Rajapaksa pushed through the largest tax cuts in Sri Lankan history. The tax cuts were recently...
Huh? Oh yeah, we got like a lot of issues where like maybe, I don't know, taxes could probably help with, you know, like funding some of these problems. Oh, let's just like do the biggest tax cuts in our country's fucking history to like solve that issue. That would totally help. 100%. What's wrong with that? Just picture Easter bunnies and bomb that song. I don't know. I'll let you figure that one out, I guess. I don't know. It's a funny image.
After creditors downgraded Sri Lanka's ratings, blocking it from borrowing more money as its reserves sank. The tourism flatlined again during the pandemic. In April 2021, Rajapaksa suddenly banned imports of chemical fertilizers. The push for organic farming caught farmers by surprise and decimated staple rice crops, driving prices higher. To save on foreign exchange, imports of other items deemed to be luxuries were also banned. Meanwhile, the Ukraine war has pushed prices of food and oil higher. Inflation was near 40% and
I mean, at least when it comes to food, when it comes to things like grain, sure, but with like fuel and oil and stuff like that, I mean, it's not exactly the Ukrainian war that has to do with that. I mean, a little bit, but not entirely.
60% in May. So, by the way, the thing they did about chemical fertilizers, I read that led to a decrease of about 50% of the crop, which is like they have half the food.
If you're gonna try to push for like organic crop, would you want to make sure that you have like, I don't know, a transitionary fucking phase to make sure that like, you know, you don't just like fuck over half of your like crop and thus, you know, starve your country? Wow, this is just like not even just corrupt mismanagement. This is just incompetence. Like, oh my god, do these people like, do the fucking like government heads of this country, you know, just like, do they not know what a country is? Do they not know how it fucking works? It's like, yeah, you need things like, you know, like phasing plans and like, you know, little step-by-step processes when it comes to like doing transitionary things like switching, you know, all your farm production into fucking organic, which I'm not even against, but you need like, you know, you need a phase, you know, to make sure all those farms get into that. You can't just be like, you can't, nope, done, nope. It's like, well, you just fucked over, you know, like a fat chunk of your crop. You need like at least like a 10-something year period or some shit, or at least a couple harvest seasons to transition. It's like, I mean, it feels like it would be a no-brainer, like go through what you have left and then replant with organic crop. Duh.
Food. People are starving. Inflation is skyrocketing. They also did a whole bunch of fuckery with their currency. They pinned their currency to the dollar, but the market value of the currency was not reflected in what they pinned it at. And that led to everything getting out of whack, which exacerbated the crisis as well. So this is like, and this is literally the language that's being used by global officials. They say it's like the perfect storm, which is now leading to the collapse. Why did the Prime Minister say the economy had collapsed? The stark declaration in June, this guy's in his 6th term as Prime Minister, threatened to undermine any confidence.
Definitely sounds like, you know, a very sound and honest leader if he's, you know, been in there for so long. Mm-hmm.
It didn't reflect any specific new development. The Prime Minister appeared to be underscoring the challenges facing his government as it seeks help from the IMF and confronts criticism over the lack of improvement since he took office weeks earlier. The comment might have been intended to try to buy more time and support as he tries to get the economy back on track. The Finance Ministry said Sri Lanka had only $25 million in usable foreign reserves. That has left it without the wherewithal to pay for imports, let alone repay billions in debt. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan rupee has weakened in value to about 360 to the US dollar. So by the way, they pinned it at 150. And they kept it there even when the real market value was 200 or 250. That makes costs of imports even more prohibitive. Sri Lanka has suspended repayment of about $7 billion in foreign loans due this year out of $25 billion to be repaid by 2026. So they say, what is the government doing about the crisis? So far, Sri Lanka has been muddling through, mainly supported by $4 billion in credit lines from India. An Indian delegation came to the capital, Colombo, in June for talks on more assistance. But the president warned against expecting India to keep Sri Lanka afloat for long. Sri Lanka pins last hopes on the IMF, read a June headline in the Colombo Times. The government is in negotiations with the IMF on a bailout plan. And the president, I think that's the prime minister, said he expected to have a preliminary agreement later this summer. Sri Lanka has also sought more help from China. Other governments like the US, Japan, and Australia have provided a few $100 million in support. Earlier in June, the United Nations launched a worldwide public appeal for assistance. So far, projected funding barely scratches the surface of the $6 billion the country needs to stay afloat over the next 6 months. To counter Sri Lanka's fuel shortage, the Prime Minister told the Associated Press in a recent interview that he would consider buying more steeply discounted oil from Russia. So again...
Well, I'm sure they're, having, issue trying to find buyers and shit when you got, countries like this needing, some oil and stuff. I mean, the idea that, Russia's going to be, heavily affected by things like a lot of these embargo and shit is, maybe, for now, but in the long term, they're going to be alright, in a sense, just because, there's other countries that will do business with them. Whether because of necessity or because, hey, I mean, the offer's there, and it's discounted, so they can at least get a cut. I mean, it's just I'm not exactly surprised. These government heads with their heads, with chickens with their heads cut off, are running around being like, how do we try to make things somewhat stable? The people want our heads on sticks. We don't want to, have that. So, how do we bail things out? Please help us. It's why don't we help you people, you fucks? It's they're basically just trying to prolong shit, but how do we have a bailout plan so we can at least keep things in our institution running just a little bit longer? Just so we can have things, set in a way to where it's more favor for us. It's no, fuck you. It's actually help your fucking people, you prime minister, presidential fucks. This the reason why this is happening is because you motherfuckers in the first place. So it's what you're what now? You want to cry for help, to the international community? It's fuck off. I hope it gets stalled out a little more, just so that it gets just that much a little closer for them, for these people to fucking eventually probably have a little introduction, a little welcoming party, I guess you could say.
Peace. So many things went wrong at once, and now the economy is collapsing, and the government is imploding, and is in exile now, by the way, because they ran away, and the presidential palace was getting stormed. Actually, just before that.
Oh, well, go figure, a bunch of cowards. See, that's why they're cried out, oh, please help us. We are now in exile. We got ran out by our country. Can you please, help us out a little bit so we can kind of get back into the swing of things a little bit, please? Thanks.
Just so everybody understands what we're dealing with now with this global economy, which is in crisis. It's in crisis. I mean, the problems, the recent problems really started with the pandemic, where, that has lasting effects. When you have a global pandemic, all these people die, various countries go into lockdown. There are going to be all these economic hiccups as a result of that. And so, let me show you guys this. So the same thing is happening, or not the same thing, it's not fair to say that. A very similar thing is happening now in Albania. So this tweet says, Sri Lanka, Holland, no, Albania. Massive protest in Tirana, Albania against rising fuel prices, food prices, and against government corruption. So look at this.
Damn. Holy fuck.
People.
Is this the equivalent of a Main Street there? Because holy shit. I can't see where the road is. Is there a road? Was there meant to be a road there? Because I don't think there's a road anymore. It's been gobbled up by a massive, angry, pissed off people. Nice.
Understand. When a giant country.
Dude, I love it.
Dude,
look at all those fucking people. Can we just can this spread a little bit more? Just a little bit more. Got Sri Lanka, Albania. I think there's I don't know, probably at least 100 plus other countries that could probably use this. Yeah.
Like the U.S.
Sounds like a trend.
We're dealing with much higher gas prices, and higher food prices, and we have inflation. These are things that, even though it's an annoyance, and even though it's incredibly difficult for people here to deal with, when you're a developing country and you're on baby deer legs, and you deal with those problems plus other problems, oh man, that's a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for disaster. So, it's happening in Albania. There's a number of places where, the other thing is they say they think Pakistan might be next too.
So it is a trend.
Pakistan is experiencing, a crisis that in some ways is comparable.
It definitely was another country I was thinking on the list of 100 plus countries. It sounds understandable.
And so you might have, a huge...
Is the U.S. somewhere on that list? Like, I'm pretty sure we are eventually. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the list going down. So we got, like, Sri Lanka, Albania, Pakistan probably. There's a little list going down here. The U.S. is somewhere in there. Somewhere.
So let's all hope that the countries and the governments don't start falling like dominoes here. But it looks like that might be the case.
You and I are wishing for two different things, I guess.
And again, there's no one individual thing you could point to and say, well, this is how we got here. It's a confluence of 4, 5, 6 different factors that all happen at once, and as a result, people are massively, massively struggling. So I don't know how this is going to unfold in Sri Lanka. I don't know if they're going to get loans from the IMF or have more bailouts from other governments. I also don't know, even if they get those loans, if they can sort of manage everything effectively where they'll be good for the near-term or long-term future. So...
Probably not.
Looking at these collapses, it doesn't bode well for the future. I'll say that. If you want to see...
I don't know. I mean, at least for Sri Lanka's case, I mean, it could actually be a better long-term shit because it doesn't, like, as far as, like, I mean, I don't really know anything about Sri Lanka, but I'd imagine that they don't exactly have, like, a very strong, like, influence of, like, far-right elements, like, the U.S., Russia, Pakistan, different Euro countries, places like Brazil and shit like that. Like, I mean, they probably don't have, like, the same issues with those type of problems, so I imagine that if the people were to revolt and establish, like, a new government, like, it probably would actually be better. Like, I mean, if I had to take a random guess. It probably would still have plenty of problems, but I imagine it would probably be a lot less in comparison to what's going on there. At least right now. So, I don't know. I mean, at least for Sri Lanka's case, I imagine it could be, for the better. But yeah, for other countries, though, I don't know. That would just have to depend on the specific nation, I guess. If only there was a way we could see examples of what leads to these kinds of collapses and, I don't know, just, like, learn from them. Yeah. Yeah, if only. But, yeah, unfortunately not. But hey, we can learn from it, too. From the other way. If the rich and elite don't want necessarily learn it for, like, how do we avoid this? Then we can be like, how do we make it better and more cunning? And more palatable to people, I guess. So. Nope. Gotta shove money up to capitalists. Said, yeah, which is why their government's, wanting to get a bailout from the fucking IMF and shit. Like, instead of actually trying to, like, fucking help their people and maybe, like, crack down on some of the fucking corporations and some of the businesses that, that's happened to shit like their tourist industry, be like, hey, like, if you want to fucking... like, obviously, they've been hit because, from, like, a 2019 terrorist attack from that shit, but it's, so if that's, ends up being the case, then, it's just, like, have the, government, like, make a cheapening of the deal, being like, like a stick credit, like, hey, as long as you pay these taxes, we'll give you a credit, to, like, have, like, the prices so affordable as fuck or some shit, for people to come in here to boost your own profits and shit for to boost your tourism and shit by making it, ticket sales, to have people move here or not, not move here, but, like, come here for tourism, get here more affordably, but, obviously are going to rink in a lot of fucking money because a lot of people are coming here because of that. It's like, you know, just, you know, like some shit like that. Like, I mean, fuck. I mean, it's like, as long as you pay, like, you know, these extra tax rates and shit that kind of accommodate for some of that, you'll still get more money out of the end of the day out of it. So, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, also with, like, the farming shit, like, you know, from what it seems like there, it's just like, you know, part of it was, like, it basically, you know, forcing within, like, a single harvest season to be like, oh, we're going all organic. And not actually given a transitionary phase of once, like, the old crops are depleted, then you have to plant a new crop. It's like, by that point, I mean, you can at least, you know, phase into new organic crops, you know, by that point, and not have to worry about a degradation or at least, you know, a decrease in harvest and shit, outside of other variables. But no, decide not to be competent or normally, you know, act like a normal human being with that one either. I'm sure there was money involved with that one too, from a lot of their farming industries and agricultural lobbies that probably existed in Sri Lanka, because considering how fucking corrupt their government is, I guarantee it. Cap pigs and I'm hungry. Yep. I am too, actually. Yeah, so. Bacon does sound pretty good. Capitalist pigs, you know, police hogs, fucking Proud Boy hogs. There's bacon everywhere and I'm hungry. I mean, it's like, look at me, I'm a skinny boy, you know? It's just like, I need kind of like, I need put on a little bit of meaty fats on me, boy. You need to get, you know, a nice big chunk of boy there, brother. Probably be some low quality basil's ass bacon. Bacon's bacon. Artist profiles only. Allegedly his commissions are open. Huh? Oh, is this person just like... Huh? Oh, my bad, this one. Oh. Oh, you talk about the, painting here? Wait, Superman... So he's, you're fighting 3 little girls. But they're Powerpuff Girls. I can already tell that they are just based on their, you know, clothing and shit. He's fighting the Powerpuff Girls. Like, they're not your average kids. Like, they got crazy fucking superpowers and shit. Like, they got laser beams and, you know, that pop out of their eyes too and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're not exactly your traditional kids. Like, I mean, I think there could be an exception. Like, I know Spider-Man's a teenager. Like, yeah, oh, come on. Like, I mean, like, pretty much like every fucking antagonist that goes after Spider-Man is basically going after a kid because he's a teen. At least in the Marvel ones, he's like in high school still. Tobey Maguire ones, I think he's in college. So, at least there, he's kind of an adult. Daily Bugle. Superman, child abuser. Dude, that'd be honestly pretty hilarious. Just like, you know, Clark Kent, you know, just kind of comes out of the fucking, you know, just like, oh, yes, yeah, let me read the paper for this morning. He sees that Superman's just like child abuser, has, you know, been caught, you know, abusing and brutalizing 3 little children, and he's just like, wait, what? But the villains don't know that usually. And we could apply Superman doesn't know that they're children because, you know, they're short and childlike. Because they're like super beings. Jimmy's like, Superman is it true that you punched a little girl in the face? No comment. You know what, hold on. Actually, I remember you to recommend me pretty something funny. I remember seeing here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Think this is it? Man, the problem is, will I be able to even get away with it? That's the issue. It is Warner Bros.
We want it right now. Oh, whoops. A little too hard. Sorry, Batman. I mean, that's nothing compared to what I'm about to do to you, Deadshot. If I don't get what I want, now.
What?
What?
Watch yourself with my partner here. Any little thing can set him off. Superman? We talking about this guy?
Why don't you step out, Batman? I want to have a little private talk with you.
I've seen this. Dude, I love it. He's just being like so he's trying to be so mean and aggressive, but he's just so awkwardly nice about it though. While Batman's actually trying to be a nice guy, but he's actually more intimidating and scary than fucking Superman though, being a bad cop.
Light of this object.
Oh, sorry. Too bright?
Too bright? He looks at Batman, he's just like, bruh, you're not doing this right.
I mean, that's nothing compared to my heat vision, which would really do some serious damage. So, talk.
You gotta be kidding me, Coffee. Don't do that!
By the way, there's no coffee machine in there, so this implies that somehow he snuck out, made a coffee, and snuck back in within that short period of time.
Like coffee. It's good.
It's good.
Why are you showing me your teeth? What is that?
You're gonna need that. Get through with you.
Donut.
He's just like, would you like a donut? Dude, I love it. Oh my god, dude. Batman being intimidatingly nice is hilarious. Like, Deadshot's just more confused of Superman and legitimately intimidated by Batman because he's just so gruff and harsh and just mean, basically. But somehow, you know, it's just like him being nice is even more scary. I mean, you can kind of tell that Deadshot is not exactly comfortable. He's definitely not comfortable. He's like uncomfortably scared. It feels like a trap because it kind of is a little bit. But that's kind of the psychological play about it. I mean, because it kind of is. It's a trap to get his guard down and get the info that they want out of him. Now, I actually don't know the full film overall. I'm pretty sure it's a movie, right? Yeah, Justice League Action or something like that. Or it's a series. Is it a series or is it a movie? I think it might be a series. Either. Oh, hi, Cranefly, you're fucking big. But either way, I haven't seen the particular full thing of it with that particular, like, shit, but either way, granted, Superman can be scary when he wants to. Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, there's definitely, like, I mean, at least for the first, like, DC movie of Superman, Man of Steel, I mean, it wasn't honestly, like, too bad, because it actually kind of shows that, like, Superman can legit kind of be a more scary type of figure, because honestly it kind of heavily implies he's trying to seriously, like, repress some really, like, some serious urges and shit. Like, I think at least in the movie, like, the only dude he kills is what's his face? God, why am I blanking on it? I just had it in my head like a minute ago. Fuck. You know, I bet if I looked it up. Oh, Kal-El, right? I think, or is this Zod? Either way, you know what? Either way. It's also like one of the only like DC superhero movies, as far as the ones I've seen, that I think is at least okay. Now that I'm thinking about it. Nolan, Homelander, Brandon. No, I don't know if there are more. Yeah, I honestly don't know if there are or not. Yeah, I think Homelander is probably the most biggest, like, clone that's, pretty much an evil version of him. Because Homelander is basically just, like a mixture of Superman and Captain America, obviously because of the hyper fucking America fascistic nationalism that he espouses, not really espouses, but just like, just irradiates and shit. And, fucking, like, who else would be a good one? Probably like a little bit of like a little bit of Stark, Tony Stark, just because of an egotistical narcissism and shit. But just amplify that by like 1,000. Put that shit on steroids, and like the strongest steroids you could find, and then it'll be accurate. And then just implant some of the DNA of Trump in there, and there you go. No, Brandon from the movie Brightburn. Yeah. Not the Build Back Brandon Act. Not Joe Brandon there, brother. Not that Brandon. Okay. I'm on the fence about him because while he does do evil shit, he still he does have slightly more leeway, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Brightburn, but so I'm not too 100% knowledgeable about the character. I know a little bit about Homelander, and honestly, there's no like sympathy whatsoever I have for that character. I mean, I love him as a character because of just, of his development, but that's about as far as it goes. Like, I don't actually like the character. But that's what makes him so good. Like, if you really, just legitimately just, like, hate a character and shit, then it's legitimately some good character for development. And I don't mean, like, oh my god, this character is just shit. I mean, it's like, oh, I just hate this character because of, like, his acts and, the things he's done, his betrayals and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, that means good character development. That's a good character. Good antagonist. I love that shit. Gives you, a character to actually, like, be like, alright, this is baddie. And you kind of want to see him, like, get close, but then, get to a defeat and shit. Because obviously they're the fucking piece of shit. But every now and then, they'll throw curveballs and let him win. And I also like that. Almost makes it like an anti-hero thing. It's like, are we shooting for redemption arc shit? Or are we like, fucking, just, looking at through this character's perspective and we're just gonna hate him? Try to do sort of a internal conflict thing with Brandon, but it's kind of hard to do that when he's literally dissected someone. Yeah, a little bit. Our life strategy, why do we have all of our best people investigating this Brandon guy? See why I serve so attracted to him. Then we can win him over, win him with a broad coalition. Let's go, Brandon. It was funny, I actually saw an article like last week or some shit. Now it's actually kind of reminded me. Where, like, I guess there's, I think in Houston or some shit, there was, like, this kid in Texas who, like, was seeing all these Let's Go Brandon signs, and he's, like, this little, like, I think, like, some 11-year-old autistic kid, and his name is also Brandon. He was just, like, and he basically, obviously being a naive kid, was misinterpreting these signs, meaning that they were for him. So he was just all like, yeah, it just felt like, more confident and more like, wanting to do shit because he saw all these signs thinking they were for him and shit. Which, if anything, I actually find kind of funny and based, because it's just like, damn, when the meme is just so shitty and sad that, you know, it gets misinterpreted as something positive for a kid. Because from what I understood, like, the kid didn't really know how to ride a bike or, like, swim or shit like that, and then it was very reclusive, but because of seeing all these signs, you know, suddenly he started, like, wanting to do shit more, and wanting to actually, like, you know, go out there and, you know, start doing things he hasn't tried yet, really. Which I thought was actually legitimately kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's one of the rare times where there's a heartwarming story where it's actually not just like, you know, it's like, okay, you know, it's like, alright, whatever. Like, you know, someone got lucky and got, like, a lottery win. Oh, yay, you know, it's like, alright, whatever. But at least for that, I'm just like, alright, you know, that's actually nice. Left-wing president from Houston named Hugh Stein. That would be amazing. Jail people would be very triggered. Dude, there better be somebody like named Hugh Stein out there, and they better fucking run, and they better be left, because that'd be amazing. And JLP would be very triggered. Oh, Rip, did you know he's kind of been caught in, like, a gay scandal? Or he's been, like, where honestly, Jesse Peterson's very likely probably just, like, a very flamboyant fucking, like, aggressively, like, flirty gay guy. There's, like, some documentary about him and shit that's been coming out, and, already did come out about him and shit. That's essentially just an anti-gay hit piece overall, so I take a lot of what they're saying with a grain of salt anyway. But, I mean, the general gist of it is, like, oh, hey, fucking, like, you know, Jesse Lee Peterson's actually gay, and he's grooming, you know, people in his fucking, you know, within his, company and shit, and the people that he works with, and blah, 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 and it's like, oh, so he's just a closeted gay guy that really, you know, off air doesn't give a fuck, and, you know, is willing to flirt with you if he likes you. Okay, wow. Color me fucking shocked, you know, it's like that, and, you know, like half of the other fucking, you know, conservative, homophobic chuckle fucks that, you know, spew their shit. So, I mean, all in all, I mean, it's like, your point, you know? And apparently, the other guy that works with him, Hake, or whatever his name is, like, or, I don't know his first name, I just know him as Hake from, like, the Hake Report, but he basically works in tandem with Jesse Lee Peterson. And apparently, those two really like each other, and there's been times where they've been caught doing some very, sensual stuff to each other, and liking it a lot. So it's like, oh, you know, honestly, knowing how both of them operate with their shows, it makes a lot of sense why they, you know, talk the way they do about that shit, because it's just like, oh, yeah, you're just secretly gay, and you're just, you know, repressing it, but, you know, on one hand, you really don't give a shit, but, yeah, it's like, it kind of shows that they're really psychologically conflicted of themselves, and on one hand, I actually do kind of feel bad. It's like, I always kind of had a hunch with Jesse Lee, like, I've always had a soft spot for him, and you know, it's like, I kind of feel ever so slightly a kid, because, like, I mean, he's just, I can't tell if he's just doing it for a grift, or if he's, like, legitimately all, like, for all of his life been struggling with his, like, sexuality, but at one point, you know, he's like, well, I'll just, like, basically be a Dave Rubin and say fuck it, but, like, you know, just go out and, you know, be flirtatiously gay, I guess, with, you know, the people I work with and shit. I mean, you know, so, like, whatever, he can do him, you know what I mean? Like, if he wants to, like, be gay and aggressively flirt with other dudes, go for it, Jesse Lee. I don't care, man. Just don't be a beta. Don't be a beta and just be suppressing it and being a bigot. That's all I say. Don't be a scumfuck conservative about it. Like, that's why I still don't inherently like you. I have a soft spot for you, but it doesn't mean I like you, Jesse Lee Peterson. Ain't too late to redeem yourself. Dude looks like his drag queen of the boomers. Dude, he probably, honestly, in a weird-ass way, wouldn't necessarily look that bad in drag. Like, I mean, if you got him a nice, you know, fucking wig, and got him up in, like, you know, some crazy-ass pizzazz, and fucking, you know, makeup and shit, I don't know, he probably won't look that bad. I mean, obviously, he would be like a drag queen cougar, a little bit, like a cougar drag queen, but, Hey, nonetheless, I mean, still would be. And you know what? If he rocks it, you know what? Then more power to him, you know? Like, fucking go for it, Jesse Lee Peterson. Because, you know, secretly he probably wants to. I mean, it's goddamn Jesse Lee Peterson we're talking about here. I mean, especially if how he goes after about, like, yeah, the homosexuals and all this other shit, and how they're a bunch of betas and all that. Like, I mean, yeah. He thinks that, you know, he's very heavily inclined on the more homosexual persuasion of a more submissive form. Projects a lot about it, and considering how much of an aggressively flirtatious man that he is from the accounts, he strikes me as a guy that just wants a lot of, like, submissive gay dudes to just smash, like, just straight up. Like, I mean, honestly, I feel like that's what he wants. And Hake from the Hake Report is kind of like that stand-in dude, I guess. Because there's been at least a few accounts of those two having a little extra fun. And you know what? I love it. I'm okay with it. When cops do illegal things, recording them is perceived as a threat. What?
Fuck, bro. Nigga, 2 feds, bro. 2 feds, bro. Why you pointing the gun on me? Why you pointing the gun on me?
What the fuck? Why are they pointing a gun on this dude? What the hell? The fuck?
Oh. Whoa, what the fuck, bro? Nigga.
That was perfect because they caught him. Well, yeah, so they have a dude that I'm assuming probably did nothing wrong and is arrested here. And you got a cop who's, you know, being like, not a cop, but you got a, I mean, just especially considering, you know, right after our, you know, pause, you know, what was said, I'm assuming, you know, just another, you know, black guy just kind of casually just waltzing on scene being like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, let me, check this out. And, of course, these fucking, you know, hog-ass, you know, white-ass hog motherfuckers and shit, you know, nice, you know, fresh raw bacon waiting to be cooked, fucking just sitting there and shit, and they're all like, stop him! Stop that gentleman over there! That's not what they would say, but, you know.
2 feds, bro.
And she immediately pulls the gun, like, dude, it like, oh my god, hold on, let's just do play-by-play. Stop him! Stop him! Not even a second she pulls her right the fuck out. Not even a second after he says that. Stop him, and their fucking minds means pull the gun and get ready to fucking shoot, dude. Fuck these fascists. Like, fuck them.
Why pointing the gun on me?
Oh, because you have a camera pointed at me. That's why. You're a threat because there's a camera at me now, fucker.
What weapon? What weapon, huh?
Don't you have, like, a little bit of, like, you know, those little swirly pig cocks to suck there, bitch?
Bro, you look dumb, bro.
Whoa, now the other guy's getting into play now. Oh, it's like, wait a minute, this guy wasn't as big a deal as we thought. This guy recording us a bigger threat. Alright, this guy's, you know, breaking the law even worse. We're gonna get guns on this one now. Alright, we got this one, you know, darker fella right here. Now we gotta get this, you know, dark fella with a camera over here, because we can't allow that. Nope, get the guns out. It's like, oh, what, you think that's even gonna make yourselves better, you fucking racist, fascist, flatfoot, fucking degenerate piece of shit? Oh, guy with a camera, let's pull our guns out and start pointing it at him, you stupid, retarded motherfuckers. God, fuck these, man, fuck these cops. So I'm getting increasingly, you know, like, wondering if, like, cops are even really necessary. It's like, I'm wondering, is there, like, legitimately better concepts, you know, to instill, like, the idea of law and order outside of just cops? Because, that doesn't seem to work in America. I think we need other ideas. Because, the idea of being a cop or police officer in this country is, not only is it broken, it's, like, non-repairable. Like, you basically have to just, like, not only, like, torch it, like, set it in, like, one of those fucking, like, fucking cremation furnaces and just let it become nothing but ash. Just let it just toss it into the wind and let it just like fly away off into the wind and shit. It didn't just fucking, you know, just like, it didn't just like go to the blueprints and just like redraw some new shit out, because that shit ain't working. No shit, the police said there's a lot of sexual harassment towards women that in a line of work, which is obviously, that doesn't excuse this kind of shit, obviously, but if you're a woman, why would you want to be with people? I don't fucking know. I walked by and he looked at me, so I gave him fairly nod and he said, hey, wait, what? I walked by and just center yesterday, and this guy just arrested, sitting in the back of the cruiser, talked to the pig in the front seat through the open window. Oh, yeah, that would kind of be a little weird. Not to mention the domestic violence. Honestly, I just kind of think that women who are cops are just basically the female versions of the men in a lot of ways, where they basically abuse their fucking, you know, men who are essentially like the house husbands. I have the bad news for you. I mean, there's... I imagine, you know, like, I mean, how bad is it? I mean, like, it's called Earth. Not much can be really that bad at this point. This is an old SNL clip. Probably won't be able to play a lot of it. Oh my god, wow, the first... Okay, you know what? Honestly, just this is all that is needed. Oh shit, I think I saw a black guy! Nope, false alarm, it was my shadow. Alright. Back to the paper report.
Hello, new recruits.
Oh shit, there was!
You might remember me from the Rodney King proceedings. As a police officer, my oath is to provide service and safety to the solid citizens of the city.
Is this, okay, okay, I feel like it should be okay.
Say it, don't spray it.
Ooh, a smartass. Well, if I had 9 of LA's finest holding taser guns and wielding billy clubs behind me, I'd fight you right now. But I'm kind of busy. So, who's here today? You must be Steven Simmons. And you'd be Stan Smith. And I take it you're Sissy Spacek from Sarasota Springs. Hey, who's been...
Oh my god,
messing with my list? Was it you, Mr. Prankster?
No, sir.
What's the matter, sassafras? Are you scared? Are you frightened? Are you nervous? You're sweating like a suckling sow on a sizzling spit!
Oh, 2 squirrels may have perished near me. They fell down a 9+ foot deep drain pipe. On July 4th, I put a long rope made of towel in there so they could climb out, but I don't know if they did. Oh no! Well, squirrels actually are able to survive, you know, falling from tall heights, you know, so I don't know if that would be an issue. And honestly, if it's a storm drain, there are sewer systems, so I mean, there's also an off chance they probably went off in wherever those fucking drains go to, I guess. They probably have sex, they died doing what they love. Damn! Died having sex, they died doing what they love. Damn. Oh, they were alive, they were crying. Oh no. Oh, poor babies. Yeah, squirrels around here have been, you know, doing their thing, just kind of chilling. Don't care, got laid. Yep, it's like, alright, well, we might have died in these fucking, you know, sewers, but I'm fucking this nice squirrel posting pretty nice, baby. I tell you what, brother. It's like, my spinal cord might be paralyzed, broken right now, but I just busted that nut. Damn. Damn. But, I don't know. I mean, I've seen squirrels, you know, fall from, like, 20 feet and shit, because I've seen them fall from my trees and, like, hit the road, but then, like, boop, they kind of pop up and they'll still be fine, so... I mean, they might have just been stuck in there, but, I don't know. The night before that, I attracted 10 of them. I still get about 6, 7 of them, so there'll still be plenty to carry. Oh, yeah. I mean, plus there's plenty. There's like there's like 1,000 squirrels per square mile anyway. So I mean, you'll be okay. There'll be migrations of other squirrels that'll come in.
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants. Well, I didn't even mean to put it right there, but perfect timing. The dude in Florida gave meth to a squirrel gas on fire. The squirrel jumped 12 feet down pavement from my stairwell when it fell cornered. I couldn't believe it survived. Damn. Well, yeah, because they're capable of surviving such things. Like I said, I mean, I read up about it, and I think they're, like, because they're so light, like, the velocity of them just kind of casually falling is not heavy enough for, like, you know, major enough for, like, any bone, like, for their bones to break and shit. I mean, so when they fall, they usually just whoop, sprawl out, so they just kind of, like, become this pancake. So that also kind of, you know, slows down their fall too a little bit. So, I mean, all in all, I mean, mini squirrel parachutes. Well, they're not like literal squirrel parachutes, but like, I mean, yeah, they open up like a flying squirrel. Yeah, like flying squirrels have evolved to literally fly from different places to shit because of that. But regular squirrels, obviously, outside of that, will just fall, obviously. But they'll still do that, you know, because it's a way for them to not, you know, potentially injure themselves. And also, like, if they curl up in a ball and they hit their head first, well, they're probably not going to really be faring too well from that. But if they're sprawled out, the chance of their head getting hit is pretty low because also they have their arms sprawled out like this and shit. Yeah, like the sugar gliders, they go for tree fees. Yep. Flying squirrel's a base. Dude, I want a flying squirrel. I want to eventually have a little pet squirrel, not even gonna lie. You think those are Wahat's spirits animal? Oh, not the wolf, like his little persona. Oh. Yeah, we're good to go. Zuka, where'd you go? Oh, you're right there. Hi. Hello. What you doing? Just hanging out there? All that goofy face. You just been hanging out there? Should have mentioned to skip to the 410 mark. Oh, yeah, I was about to pop up this other thing, but here, yeah. Let me skip to the 410 mark. So what's that, the 410 mark?
Not this time! Believe me, there's a much bigger threat to the men in blue. That's him! Kill the bastard with the video camera! He's shooting like this. Blue. That's him! Kill the bastard with the video camera! Get him! He's shooting like this. You're not gonna survive. Hold your fire. Take him out and you can waste everybody else at your own leisure. Congratulations, students.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much, you know, being a cop in a nutshell. That's how you do police training, you know, when it comes to firearm training. All right, this is your gun right here. This trigger. You keep your finger on the trigger all times. And you see that right there? You see this target? See, that's the least. Yeah, that's the first thing you want to shoot at. But if you get this type of target, that's more of a priority. Then, if you get that type of target, then that is also indeed more of a priority. However, if you see this son of a bitch that happens to have a camera of some very sort, like a phone or, some other type of camera, then you just blast that son of a bitch until there's just goddamn nothing but Swiss cheese, and then you can just blast the fuck out of all the rest of them. Is that understood, recruits? Yeah, good. Alright, cool. First thing, you want to make sure you shoot anyone with their phone out. Exactly. Such an overactor. I know, dude. I love it. There's actually this other funny little thing that I haven't really saw entirely, but I kind of saw a headline on the video. It's called Herschel Walker on Climate Change. Good Air decided to float over to China's bad air. That's right, brother. That Good Air decided to just float over to China's bad air and fuck that shit all up. And now all that bad air came over here, and now we're all fucked up. That was so dumb. Oh my god. You saw it? Okay, I really, honestly, I want to know. I want to see it all its glory.
Yeah, you got rid of the pipeline. Get rid of the pipeline. Get rid of our energy. Start this downfall. Because we need energy for everything. Do y'all know that?
Wow. Yeah. Wow, you need energy for everything. Holy fuck, what an enlightening fucking just position. Wow, I never knew that. Wow, you need energy for, yeah, pretty much everything. Yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, you need energy for, the society to function, obviously, due to various things of, electricity, crops, animals need energy in order to, continue their existence. We need energy. Wow, it's just the more you know. It's just bruh, what is this? Are we serious? Trying to turn air into nationalism. This might be more stupid than an Oklahoma snowball. Dude, I think this is gonna get worse. This is about to get worse, I feel like.
Green New Deal. Climate change. I'm gonna help you all with that real quickly, and I'm gonna do it in the right...
I'm gonna help you with all that real quicken. Does he know English? Okay, look, I mean, what was he, like a running back, right? That's the dude who basically gets tackled the most. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure he has so much fucking, brain damage from fucking football that there isn't really much of a brain left. I mean, straight up, though, because, what was it, CTE or CRE or whatever it is? I mean, whatever, that, is it I know there's somebody in these comments is bound to CTE. Yeah, CTE. So it's just yeah, I mean, he has such hardcore CTE that, I mean, it pretty much replaced brain. There's so, I mean, he's so impacted from that, no pun intended, that there isn't really much brain left, for the CTE to grow in.
You can understand what I'm saying.
I really can't understand what you're saying, bro. I'm struggling to figure out what you're even saying.
We, in America, have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world.
No, we don't.
So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move.
Like, I feel like my face is shrinking into my head. Like, I don't even know, like... I'm gonna go with excessive exposure to lead as a child. That definitely plays a very strong role in this. What the hell did I just hear? Here. Hold on. Let me take a hit really quick, and I'll attempt to summarize it for you. But I need to, like, get in the state of mind for it, so give me a second. Because, honestly, if I try right now, I'm just going to start laughing, so I need this out. Like, legit. Okay. You see... You know, let me just tell you about the green and this bean bean situation. So you got like the green bean, deal, and when you got the green bean deal, you got all these other countries that got bad air. So and they don't understand that we as America got like the best air in the world, the best air and food in the world. Now I tell you. And then you got all this, green bean deal stuff, and then the green bean deal is just going to go out there and just. Just be, trying to get all of our good quality air and try to control it. It's like how you try to control the air. Well, you just take that air, and then you just move it somewhere else, like in, China, India, where they ain't, do nothing about their bad air, and then that bad air has got to move somewhere. And that bad air is going to come all the way here in America. I tell you what, that's what's going to happen. That good air that we have is going to go away because the China air is going to come in here. And fucking, fuck shit up. It's something like that. I don't even know. My brain can't comprehend this. Do you not know what fucking weather is? I mean, obviously not. I mean, he basically, fucking, just glided his life, with football and shit. So, I mean, obviously, he didn't exactly need many smarts, for his, to get through life, frankly. But, I mean, even if he did, all that went away due to the football career anyway. Like, even if he had smarts, that was literally tackled out of him. So, whatever's left just becomes this string of, just frankly, borderline mentally challenged gobbledygook. I mean, what the, I don't even know, how any of these people are like, yeah, it's right, woo! And clapping, dude. Like, these fucking SEALs, man. Honestly, who's more stupider? Herschel Walker or the people that are fucking yeah, that's right, and fucking clapping and being like, woo, and laughing, and agreeing with it? Who's more dumb in this fucking room here? Seriously, I mean, look at all this fucking weird, hyper-fascistic, nationalistic jingo shit with the fucking, stars and stripes, fucking tablecloth, and fucking little mini American flags and shit. The only thing he's missing is, literally a wall of flags behind him. That's, that's the only thing missing. I mean, you should have done that. You should have taken that out of Trump's playbook there, Walker. I mean, there isn't, a stage where there isn't, 1,000 American flags with Trump on it.
Our good air space.
Now
we gotta clean that.
Turn your vibration off on your fucking phone if you're recording a video.
Not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
That was United States Senator Herschel Walker explaining.
Hold on, we gotta see that meme.
And now we gotta clean that back up.
That's not how it works.
That's not how any of this works.
That was United States Senator Herschel Walker explaining that America has good air and good water. Don't tell that to the residents of Flint because I think that they take issue with that factually inaccurate statement. But we have good air, good water, some of the best in the world. And on top of that, we shouldn't have to worry about climate change because we need oil for everything, so he'll take care of it. I think.
Oh, dude, that's
my head around
awesome.
what he's saying after watching that video literally like 10 different times. But so he says, this is a direct quote: "Since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China's bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air has got to move. So it moves over to our good airspace. Then now we got to clean that back up." So it's not really us, it's China. So we'll put good air into the atmosphere, we'll create the air, pump it into the atmosphere, and then China will just produce bad air. So his solution is, presumably, we make a deal with China. We strike a deal. We give them 10 air in exchange for 5 bad air. No, I have it backwards. We say, China, we're going to give you 25 bad air if you give us 50 good air, but we'll give you money with it. So that way you're taking the bad air, and we're getting majority good air. I'm really struggling.
Oh my god, when I looked over and saw that meme, it killed me. I gotta fucking... Oh no, I gotta get myself up on the chair. Oh my god, like, how do you tell, like, how does anyone, like, can we just disqualify him and just, like, make, like, fucking Warnock just the goddamn nominee and just, like, not nominee, just make him the, what, Senate, whatever the fuck? Just disqualify this fucking son of a bitch. Like, I mean, oh my god. Nearly ruffled. I know, I almost ruffled. I can't. I almost ruffled, man. I guess you could say I literally lamowed at least. I laughed my ass off the chair. I had to get my ass back on the chair. How many political reactors I might waste the time current? I mean, honestly, who's more room for reality? This guy or Green? I mean, Green probably, because this guy is like, I feel like this dude, like, like Walker or whatever, he's just, he's just kind of, like, just there, just being dumb. I mean, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is, like, outright, like, got, like, a set alternate reality she places herself in. Like, Herschel Walker is just kind of, like, drifting through dimensions. So, I don't know, like, I feel like Green's worse. It's difficult to make a meaningful comparison. Well, I don't know, I feel like I made one. Herschel Walker's just kind of, like, stupidly just, like, drifting into different dimensional planes, and, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene set in, like, the fucking batshit, like, Jewish space laser, fucking Christian evangelical, far-right white supremacist dimension. Like, I mean, it's detached from reality, you know, nonetheless, but, I mean, it's, you know, like, it's kind of set in a dimensional plane still. Herschel Walker is just kind of drifting for dimensional planes and just doesn't really know what he's doing. So, well, I mean, he does, but he doesn't. So, I feel like, I mean, you know, yeah, stupid versus crazy stupid. I'm not convinced Green believes everything she says. I'm pretty sure she does. Like, she strikes me as, like, a semi-illiterate fucking hyper-Christian fascist who literally believes in the whole idea that, like, you know, white people like her are at jeopardy and at risk of being replaced in America and society. Like, she just strikes me as a motherfucker who believes it. Like, she ain't your just typical fucking corrupt corporate shitbag who really doesn't give a fuck, and, you know, is just there for the money. Like, you know, someone like McConnell is somebody I would strike as doesn't believe everything he fucking says, because he just is there to make a fucking buck. You know, he's been doing that forever. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, especially considering how fucking insane she is and will literally go into places where, like, nobody in like literal incel Nazis like Nick Fuentes are or have organized and constructed like AFPAC, America First PAC and shit, like of that thing. Like, she was there for that and literally just denied it and lied like, you know, I'm just there to hear other sides and points. Like, I mean, this idea that you're trying to, like, you know, say it's nationalism and this and that, and it's like, you know, she was just dismissing it and deflecting. Like, she knows what the fuck she believes in. It's like, she's not somebody who's just naively being there, you know, to try to make a little extra buck and a little bit more PR points for herself. Like, she's a legitimate Christian fascist that believes in what she does. She wouldn't be so detached from morality, you know, like she is if she, you know, being associated with literal fucking far-right supremacist American nationalist groups like America First and shit. Like, not even these other, you know, politicians and shit would touch that with a 10-foot fucking pole. But it shows that they don't believe in it. They'll couch it just to support, you know, just to make sure that their base gets, you know, supporting them, but they don't actually believe it. Marjorie does. Like, she'll go out her way to go to this shit. We need to stop letting the GOP define education. We need to stop letting the GOP exist. Like, I mean, frankly. Can we just stop letting them exist? The survivors that disband could go into the DNC. I mean, half of them already work with them anyway. We need to stop GOP doing metric asshole that shit, right? Well, hence why they just, you know, we need to stop from letting them exist. Which is why Rip City agreed to saying that too. I've noticed a lot of people have just been saying GQP, basically, at this point. Which, frankly, at this rate, yeah. Like, the whole, like, Q phenomenon isn't necessarily, like, new. Or, like, of that shit. But, like, it really solidified and codified and essentially put that on the mainstream sphere of a lot of, like, what these far-right Christian fascists and what these far-right American nationalists believe in and shit. Salt the earth will always be with us in some form. Well, unfortunately, I guess. Why were they in the first place? Fuck me. I don't know. These people could literally sleep on a job and still get paid. They practically do. You need to get back to be represented as a minority group they are and stop trying to dictate how the majority of the U.S. operates. And luckily, I don't think the majority of the U.S. people are going to necessarily stand with that. And I guess it is unfortunate, at least in my mind as it is that there, you know, isn't as many, but there is, you know, a large group of, you know, leftists and other progressives and shit that are willing to, you know, step on the front lines, you know, with these motherfuckers and shit, you know, to stop them, you know, and, you know, to stop, you know, their dictation on how fucking, you know, people ought to act and how they, you know, should, you know, deem the cultural society norms and shit. Because, I mean, they already, at this point, are either trying or have, you know, incited violence, you know, because of, you know, their ideas, you know, being like, oh, being replaced with the Great Replacement, and all this other garbage. Which, frankly, you know what, like, it's just like, even if it is true, good. Should be a goddamn Great Replacement, motherfucker. It's like, you know what, even if there is, good. Like, oh, it's like, why should we want you, motherfuckers? Like, get out of here. Like, yeah, you should be replaced. Like, yeah. Like, this idea that, like, oh, no, you know, it's like the Great Replacement theory where all these, like, perfect, good WASP nuclear family-style white people are just gonna all go away. It's like, good. Good, that shouldn't exist, bitch. It's like, fuck that stupid, racist, draconian-ass garbage. based off of like biblical fucking American nationalistic zealotry. It's like, fuck that shit. Let it be replaced. It should be replaced. Like, there should be a replacement theory around it. I mean, it's like, oh, they want to cry victim so much, make them a goddamn victim as far as I'm concerned. I want to cry so much about it. And then actually make victims of, you know, the actual working class and the queer folk and other minority, like, actual minorities, like fucking, you know, Black and Latinos, Asian people and shit. If I could just commit hate crimes left and right on them because, oh, fuck him. It's like, fuck you. Pissant little parasites. Like, the little dirt on the fucking bottom of my boot's worth more than you pissant motherfuckers. There's a reason why, like, spitting at the dirt at your feet, you know, is seen as a major fucking insult. Because my spit has more value being on that goddamn dirt than on you. And frankly, if it wasn't for the fact they would have put a bullet in me, I'd say the bullet ain't worth it either. Because they're just a sad sack of fucking shit. But frankly, if they so badly want to put one in me, then it's like, well, you're gonna see some coming back at you, motherfucker. Like, I ain't just gonna, you know, sit around. And knowing the fact that they come into my city and shit over and over again whenever protests or, like, activism happens and shit from the progressive side. Not even necessarily just from, like, the radical left, just from, like, you know, progressives and shit. It's just like, they come here to fuck with people and fuck shit up and terrorize the residential areas and shit, and come here purposely, you know, to harm people. I mean, like, so their whole purpose, none of these far-right fucking fascists that come into Portland and shit live here, ever. And they come here all armed up and shit. And we're just kind of supposed to just kind of take that. Like, at some point, you know, it's like, I mean, frankly, luckily, I mean, people don't. And people shouldn't. And people should be fucking squashing them every time they fucking be doing this shit. DFF to point out contradiction between the contradiction between racists thinking groups, basically animals, yet being okay with fucking their women, which is probably fine. These are probably fine. Fucking animals, no offense to furries. Well, no. Well, furries don't literally believe in fucking animals, though. So I don't necessarily take offense to that, but there are probably other furries that would. Because honestly, as furries probably want to deny it, there are, an offshoot of furries that are like that. But majority of furries aren't. If anything, like, the majority of furries and the furry community in general literally wants to exile all of them. That's why I say they're kind of like an offshoot. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we just call those people zoophiles, but, you know, there are, you know, also other zoosexuals or zoophiles and shit that also are furries, too, just because, I mean, they, you know, in their mind are like, oh, well, animal characteristics, I like that. Oh, they're on human too? Well, that's okay, I guess. You know, so there's gonna be, you know, as much as furries don't like it, there's just gonna be overlap. I mean, I understand it and I know that, but, you know, it's like, so I don't necessarily hold someone against it if they think, oh, furry equals like devil. I mean, they're wrong, but don't necessarily blame them for it. But either way, but yeah, I mean, to the point though, I mean, it's just like, I think it was with their DFF, like, twofer they did, because they were talking about Shinzo Abe and some of the war crimes that he was kind of denying and shit. If one of them was basically seeing the Chinese basically as the equivalent to dogs. And especially if we consider a lot of their history with Japanese imperialism in China, they basically, well, you know, raped and pillaged the fuck out of China. So if that's the, you know, case, then they basically see a lot of, women of China as the equivalent of just female dogs that, you know, are worth fucking. So that kind of, in a lot of ways, it also kind of says a lot about, you know, their mentality about dogs too. It's like, hey, it's okay to fuck female dogs and stuff, as long as you basically think they're Chinese or something. which is very fundamentally racist, though. But also, sadly, I mean, Japan has a pretty staunch racist type of ethnocentric culture. So, I mean, I'm sure there's probably people to this day that believe that shit. Still. I mean, hell, their liberal Democratic Party is pretty much the equivalent of the Republican Party here. Despite their name. They're very nationalistic and very, very conservative of that party and shit. And they hold a very strong grip in their government. It's like America, Russia. Yeah, it's also why the Japanese conservatives and far-right nationalists basically literally want to instill the imperialistic Japanese monarchy again with the emperor and everything, and reestablish their military just so they can, you know, reincite a lot of that shit. Which, by the way, geopolitically isn't necessarily a good thing if you think about it, because guess who's a strong ally with Japan? Who has a lot of fucking military bases there. So if they were to decide to do that shit and go along with that and then start being hyper-antagonistic towards a nation like China, what does that say for, you know, like U.S. geopolitics of that? Obviously, we'd have to back our ally. Which also would probably exacerbate problems of the, you know, situations with things like Taiwan, South China Sea, South China Sea and shit like that. You know, probably just, you know, negative ramifications overall. Which, as much as I frankly don't give a fuck about the assassination of Shinzo Abe and shit, the dude is a little bit of an idiot because he probably thought, like, oh, you know, because, you know, this guy's a war criminal denying piece of shit, and if anything, kind of gloats about it, you know, and wants to reinstill, you know, a lot of these type of ideas, and you know, relative to a prime minister who literally openly was considered a Class A war criminal, openly was partaking in these fucking war crimes and shit, and he, Shinzo Abe, openly was denying them. And was basically an advocate of a lot of this whole Japanese nationalistic ethnocentric mentality and shit. Like, he's just, I mean, he was just, I mean, the idea of him being like a fascist and shit is honestly really far-fetched. Like, he just kind of was. He was kind of a shitbag. Complicated backstory, but basically groomed to be in political power because of his fucking family dynasty. Dude was a hell imperialist, yep. And, you know, the dude who assassinated him and shit probably thought, hey, you know, this will probably end his dynasty and thus, you know, his family dynasty, and thus kind of end the conservative grip, at least, you know, loosen it. But it just strengthened it. Like, I mean, after the elections and shit happened, it just strengthened the fucking Liberal Democratic Party, thus their fucking hyper-nationalist party and shit, you know, even further in their government. So, I mean, good job. I mean, basically just made a Mad Max shotgun, and while I guess that's pretty fucking, it's like innovative and creative, like, I mean, still, like, bruh. Like, I mean, you kind of fucked up there, bro. Abe, my son, I shall rise you to the biggest douche in Japan. Yeah, pretty much. Guy exactly wasn't really a good dude. I'm kind of glad Paul did the episode on Shinzo Abe today when he did, because, like, I really didn't really know much about him, but knowing a lot of his background now, it's like, okay, so he was literally a fucking scumfuck piece of shit. Great. It's like, I mean, why am I not surprised? Douche and douchebag is an insult I don't hear used much anymore, and it has me down. Dude, I know, douchebag is such a nice, powerful insult. You fucking douchebag. Yeah, fucking douchebag. Can I help you, baby? Oh, look at that pretty little face. You know what you haven't played in a fat minute? What have I not played in a fat minute? Is it a song or is it a game? Because I have a laptop right here, so if you're saying I haven't played your guitar, Agario. Oh shit, well, I mean, because of how like YouTube is, if like, you know, if I wanted to read the chat, like it, like I would have, it would be very fucking difficult. That's the issue. I mean, unfortunately, I want to, like, honestly, it wouldn't be, you know, like, I mean, Vorball, like, I would totally be, you know, wanting to play it, but, like, I would have to basically do a split screen mode, and I don't even think it would be, able to do that. Here, let me see, could I even? And would it even work? Where's my Vorball? Where's Vorball? Vorball, where are you? Trying to find Vorball. Where is it? I know it's somewhere. What did I do with it? Where's my Vorball? I did not delete the app, so I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Where the fuck is it? The fuck? Where's Vorball? Oh, I found it. Okay. Never mind. Why is it upside down? Okay. Yeah, it can't split screen. God damn it. I can't split screen it. Which also means I won't be able to read chat unless I went back and forth, and I want to... God damn it. I suppose I could. But I wouldn't be able to read the chat until I was done with a round. So, if y'all end up having a discussion or asking me a question, I wouldn't be able to read it until I was done with it. The laptop is offline, right? For right now. My roommate is here, but he's probably asleep. But he does have a hotspot, so I could turn it on that way. Which it would work in that sense, but, I mean, again, he might be asleep. I have Kenshi on right now. Which actually, I just finally reached the hub, which is a town in the game, but it's barren. I don't know what happened. Like, it's dead. There's nobody there. There's like one skeleton robot guy that's in the bar, but the bar's empty. There's like nobody in there. I'm just like, what the fuck? There's like this little shack that's like this little bar that's also happens to be just a short little walk away, and I went there. Same thing. Dead. Barren. And I have so many things I want to sell and haul off, and it's like, god damn it, like, fuck, man. There's like no way I could do it. I have no way to store anything. And there's all these places that I keep hitting every time I travel to a fucking place that has a bunch of shit. And I'm just like, motherfuck. Like, I have all this loot, and I can't sell it to anybody. It's just like, motherfucker, dude. And I have, like, 5 dudes. Like, I'm slowly building up companions and shit, but I'm not, like, it's... Like, because eventually I want to get a base set up, but I'm trying to find a good spot, you know, in between 2 different little towns to where I can have, like, you know, different markets and different things, you know, also resources and shit like I'm trying to find a spot to where I can eventually kind of set up my, like, ideological, like, campaign a little bit, because I want to do, like, slave abolition and shit, because there's, like, a faction in the game that's, like, their hierarchy is, you know, a lot of it's based on slavery and shit, so I want to, like, fuck with their shit a little bit and literally, like, raid their, like, slave camps, slave farms and shit like that, and their slave mines, and just abolish that shit and just, like, basically be the equivalent of a John Brown, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm trying to find a spot, but, like, goddamn, it's like there like every spot that I'm trying, like, I know that it's at least an okay area to, like, set up in is like like, just fucked. It's like, mother god, it's like, son of a bitch. Like, at least I have, like, at this point, I have my character, a pack bull, you know, to haul a bunch of shit. And I got this medic guy named, that I named Saint Alamede, who's like, specializes in, like, you know, being a medic, basically, and healing you. So I named him a saint, you know, basically, just because of that. And I have like another guy that's pretty good with combat, which funny enough is named Chad. And then there's like another guy that I have that is kind of like a jack of all trades dude a little bit. He doesn't have really, you know, like any specialized skill set, so I want to make him at least, you know, pretty good at like combat and shit, so he can be like another guard, you know. So once I get shit set up, then I can just have me and my pack mule go out and, you know, into the wastes again, and then at least have like 3 dudes, you know, guarding my little like camp at the start, and then slowly but surely eventually kind of like build it up and stuff. But in time, I just need to find the spot though, because I know at least, you know, some spots on the map in the game are pretty safe outside of like some bandits and shit, but some places have wildlife that will fuck your shit up, and even right now I still can't deal with it. Like, if I fight certain wildlife and shit, I'll just basically just die no matter what. So there's definitely, you know, some shit where it's just like, you know, I need to find like the right area to set it up, so if I deal with things like bandits, even if like, you know, my characters get wounded, it won't be a big deal. Because, I mean, you know, bandits, you know, fucking with my shit isn't that big of a concern in comparison to like certain wildlife and shit. And our ditches daddy, Comcast for Rich Uncle CenturyLink. I mean, I've had both before in the past. And I honestly, like, it wouldn't be me that would, well, I guess it would, but, I mean, I don't know all the details about, like, what I would need to do to set that shit up. I would need to, you know, talk with, excuse me!
Chill.
Yeah, it's just a dad, dude. Fuck, bro. Goddamn dog. Freaking out over him. Jeez.
Yeah, good
Fucking mutt.
Oh, crap. Yeah,
Come here, buddy. Your little goofball face. You would either need to buy a modem or a router or rent from them. A what? Do online, or you need to either buy a modem or a router to rent.
Holy shit.
I mean, I already have a modem / router. So I'm pretty sure I already have that going on, so. Treat. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Oh.
You want the name of that horse that kicked me in the side of the head?
Come here. Come on.
Son of a bitch.
Come here. Come here. Baby. Oh my god, you're being a fucking butt. Come here, bro. Hey! Really, bro? Sukov! Come on, bro! See, please, the best service I ever had. Actually, I had a fast and reliable, somewhat annoying. I don't think they're out here. Because I've asked, I remember calling them up a while back about it, and they didn't have service out here. At least not yet. So cough. Sit. 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 Hey, boy, sit. Hey, sit. Bro. Why are you, like... Come here. No? Alright, you know what? Fine. Stand up. Oh my god, you're being a little whore. Come here. Jump. Jump. Fuck you. Damn dog. Yeah, they're here. They're from like Frontier, on the west side at least. Well, I mean, I don't think they're out here in the southeast. Like I said, I've called about months back and shit, and they don't have service out here yet. They said they were trying to push it out here, but they haven't, you know, had success that much. But I hope so, honestly. I mean, maybe they have at this point, so I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'll have to follow up with that. They are west side suburbs only. Well, yeah, see, I'm not in that area. They don't even have it in my abode. Really? Damn. Well, from what I understand, Ziply really wants to push out, you know, so they want to actually expand, so I honestly want them to. Because, frankly, they sound like a fucking nice deal in comparison to fucking CenturyLink or goddamn Comcast, so... like, yes, please. I swear to fucking God, if he continues to just be goddamn loud about every little whiny little bitch and moan that he has, I'm gonna fucking blow gasket. Like, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. Whining about the most fucking stupid shit because he's goddamn fucking drunk that doesn't want to do nothing but blame and be like, oh, you know, why does my head hurt, and blah blah blah, and just be fucking loud. Make sure the whole world has to hear his goddamn fucking shit. Like, I swear to God, I'm about to like... I'm planning to cancel the Comcast so I can get a new customer again. From my understanding, you can actually kind of fuck with ISPs, you know, in a lot of ways. Be like, hey, this other ISP that's your competitor is offering me a better deal, you know, so, you know, I want, you know, can you hook me up with a better deal, you know, or else I'll go to them. And honestly, like, you know, certain ISPs, or at least, you know, from what I understand, will actually be like, okay, no, we don't want to lose you as a customer, so we'll, you know, lower your rate to this. You know, so, I mean, from what I understand, you can kind of, you know, barter with them a little bit. I'll try that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be, you know, I'm not too sure, I haven't tried it myself, but from what I understand, that is something that they will be like, we don't want to lose you as a customer because we want your money, so, we'll lower it a little bit or something, we'll work with you. You know, but I don't know how, you know, 100% it is, because, the reason why, you know, I'm saying is because, TJ and Scotty and, from DFF, from Pessimist Productions and T5 they've mentioned that they've done that, and how their dad, and how, like, you know, they've done it, you know, in the past, and, it's a way to try to cheapen their, internet bills and shit. And from what I understand, from what they say, it does work. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know how stingent about that type of shit they are up here, where it's just like, oh, well, you know, no, we won't work with you on that, fuck you. But, I don't know. That can't look good if you lost a customer on your work hours. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, maybe, you know, it's like, you know, when it comes to that customer service guy, he'll be like, here, and let me hit my manager up and see what we can work with on that. And they'll hit him up, be like, hey, you know, we have someone who wants to cancel because they have a better offer from another company. Is there some way that we can, you know, try to keep this person as a customer? Because that's something that's a quota for them. Like, when it comes to those call agents, shit like that is, you know, when it comes to keeping customers or getting new customers or just general satisfaction and shit like that, that's their quotas that they need to keep up with. So they're gonna try to, you know, keep up with things like that. So that's why I think, you know, it might be something that would work. Because, yeah, if you're, you know, one of those call agents and you're getting that call, like, hey, I want to cancel my shit and all that, and I want to schedule to get my stuff changed, you know, because I'm, you know, going in with another company or whatever, they're gonna be like, oh, well, you know, that's unfortunate, yeah, let me just, like, pack up our bags, you know, like, no. They're gonna want to fucking, you know, try to keep you. Because, well, they want your money. So it's just like, I mean, in a way, like, it might work. Like, from what, you know, based on, you know, if it has in the past, you know, for other people, I imagine, you know, it, you know, that's like kind of like a little bargaining chip. I mean, I don't know how, like, you know, 100% it is and shit, but still. I'd give it a shot, see if it works. Worst case is, they're just gonna be like, nah, we can't work with you, unfortunately. And just be like, alright, well, I guess I'm going with the other guy. If you're a competitor then. But if not, then, hey. Get the same deal, but a little cheaper. Can't go wrong with that. Hell, they might throw in something complimentary, you know, to try to, like, make you feel nice and be like, oh, yeah, you know what, they actually did hook me up a little bit. They gave me, like, this little extra thing for 6 months or something. I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, like, I'm thinking if a company gave a fuck about customer service aspects of things, they would do shit like that. At least when it comes to ISPs, like, if there's other competitors in the region that they're in, they're going to want to consider things like that. Because, like, they're going to want to keep customers to avoid being weeded out as a competition. Because they basically want to be a monopoly within the fucking region. Because a lot of areas basically only have 1 or 2 or 3 max, you know, when it comes to internet service providers, when they can, you know, hit up. So, I mean, if there's more than 1, if it's not more, you know, especially if there's like 3, you know, shit, they're gonna want to try to keep you. Because if there's any, you know, shit where it's like, oh, this company has just that much more power in this region where they can basically, you know, get a little bit more closer to a duopoly or monopoly in the area, then that's not gonna look good, you know, and also lose a little bit more profits and shit. So, they're gonna consider things like that. Especially if they're in a competitive area, in which I guess luckily Portland does have at least 2, and depending on where you're at, 3. Maybe 4, like, I mean, but again, it just kind of depends. It's all region-based, which is sucky, but that's why, honestly, you know, internet needs to be a public utility and just be all, like, you know, public broadband. Public 5G and just upgrade it as we get better with that shit.
Horse that kicked me in the side of the head. Throw it.
Can you quit being so fucking vocal when I'm doing these things in the background? Like, seriously.
Hit me in the morning, it's not alive.
Yeah, like, we can give a fuck. Lazy bastard. That's a stupid ass response. Take me if I'm alive. It's like, fuck you. And then get back under $2 a day for my internet. Oh my god, that'd be a dream. That'd be based. Can we have that again, please? Can we just, like, have that as, like, basically, like, $2 a day tax, you know, as the public broadband idea? Because that can easily be done. I mean, if every fucking, like, if it was, like, federal public broadband, it'd probably be, like, barely a fucking penny, you know, for every American being taxed on it. Because, let's be honest, it can't cost that fucking much, you know, to, like, instill a bunch of public broadband and then just maintain it. Like, it might cost a lot initially to get that infrastructure in place, but once it's in there, I mean, it's just about maintaining it. And that fucking budget can't be that much. I mean, all in all, it'd do good. I mean, maximum it'd be like, I'm just gonna guess, like, maximum it'd be like, you know, maybe like $12 billion or some shit. Maybe like 24. But I can't really see it being that much more. For just like installing a bunch of broadband cables and stuff in areas and setting up broadband fucking, you know, like towers and shit. You know, that, you know, includes Wi-Fi, internet, the whole nine. I mean, initially, sure. But maintenance costs can't be like, you know, no more than like a couple bill. Okay, one of those drops almost went my nose, and that would sucked. Where'd it go? Go seek office outside. They're gonna breathe beer without his noise. Don't mess with the claw. Well, it's more like the claw is like forcing itself into my nose, which I'm not really exactly fond of. Beer going in the nose, not exactly fun. Not exactly good. Maybe nose chugging could be a thing, like butt chugging but less nasty. Oh my god, dude. Man, like anything in like going up my nose that isn't air already is like fucked. And the idea of like, oh dude, oh my god, that sounds horrible. Unironically, I'd rather butt chug than fucking like nose chug, dude. Unironically. Like, I'd rather, like, do it alcohol enema than fucking noise chug or whatever the fuck, dude. Like, or nose, like, no. Unironically, I'm not even kidding. That just, that sounds just horrible. That sounds horrible. At least butt chugging makes somewhat some sense. But, oh man, putting it through the nose, dude. Oh my god. It's not enema if it's going up instead of out. Well, eventually it's got to come out. I mean, eventually it does. Is this a long-term enema, bro? It's just that if you butt chug at a party, just remember, if you feel like farting, don't do it. Oh man, how often, like, how many fucking, like, fraternities and, like, jock bros and fucking party going moronic fucking Miami, like, dumb blonde fucks, like, butt chugged? And fucking had, like, the idea, like, I need to fart, or I need to take, like, a shit real quick. And then just, like, basically, like, their brain had, like, that neurological, like, the neurons, like, basically were like, hey, we're just gonna release, like, ever so slightly of pressure. Like, you know, that feeling of, like, hey, you know, that, not, like, opening up and ready to go, but, like, oh, wait, hold on, you know, you want to, like, stop it. Because it's all liquid, though. That, just that little bit, you know, because it's liquid, it, you know, it's just gonna go through, though, no matter what. So it's just like, you know, that feeling, you know, like any feeling that's going on in there after you butt chug, you're like, it's like, you know, you handle with fucking caution like it's a goddamn Tsar Bomba. Like, you handle it like it's a fucking nuclear warhead in there, you know? It's like, you don't want to fucking, you know, mess with that shit. Because, I mean, while, like, it's not, you know, like, shit, I mean, well, it depends on, like, I guess, on what's going on in the digestive tract. But, like, I mean, you know, like, depending on what's going on in there, probably not. You know, outside of, like, the basic, you know, micro whatever, you know, like, I mean, but that's just gonna kind of be a given because of the whole butt-chugging premise. So, it's just like, I mean, why is this a thing? Anyway, like, why do people do that, honestly? Like, honestly, now that I'm breaking it down, why in the fuck do people do, like, why can't you just that is just as good. Like, why do you have to, like, butt chug that shit? Why does this have to be in the ass? Why do you have to put this up your ass? There's no reason for it. There's no reason to put this liquid in your ass. Like, why do you do it, you fucks? There's no reason for this beverage to be up your ass. Like, there just isn't. No alcohol needs to be up the ass. You just fucking drink it. Like, it might not go out the ass, but it's gonna go out your fucking bladder and that shit. Like, I mean, like, I mean, it's close enough. Like, fuck, man. Maybe one to get butt drunk. You can get, as far as I'm concerned, you can get butt drunk and, you know, just doing what, oh my, see, this is why I don't get it. Like, why? Like, I'm bi, so, like, frankly, like, I don't know why, like, I have to, like, you know, put that out there, but, like, fuck, like, I mean, every now and then, I'm gonna want to clean, you know, back there, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just, like, I don't even, like, consider, like, what if I did that with alcohol? Like, what if I not only did that, but just left it in there with alcohol so I could get drunk off it? Like, not once has that ever crossed my fucking mind. And I like shit up there. It's just like, so, I mean, so it's like, I don't get it. I really don't. It's like, what? Just drink it. Or fucking put it in like a Jello shot or like, you know, like, or something. And then eat it. I don't know. Like, why? Why put it up the ass? Why do people do it? Is it just to show off? Is it that? Like, do a handstand and fucking, like, you know, like, drink a fucking shotgun of beer handstanding or something. That's showing off, not shoving it up your ass. I mean, come on. I mean, what the fuck? Why are, like, the national pastime of Miami? I mean, yeah, why is the national pastime of Miami the way it is? I mean, honestly. It's just like, I truly wonder these things sometimes. I truly do. Oh, hi, little baby. You sweet thing. Oh, you little baby. You look so handsome. How so are we gonna keep Miami Beach from the capital of the U.S.? How so broke Fortnite kids gonna get drunk during spring break? It just solves so many local problems. If it solved so many local problems, why is there fucking mass shootings? Why are all the Fortnite kids doing the shootings? I haven't done that in a minute. The fat zoom in. Why are all those Fortnite kids doing shootings, huh? Why are those video games fucking just causing the shootings there, boy? Why the video games like the Fortnite's causing the shootings? Huh, boy? Huh? I tell you what. That's right. That's right. I haven't done that in a minute. We need just like a really hyper intense zoom in there for a second. Come here. You sweet boy. Really? Are you? Wow. You turn your head away from a tree? Come here. Sit off. Come here, boy. Come here. You handsome thing. Come here. You degenerate, get over here. Come here. Come here, boy. Come here. I'll come over there. I'll come over there and bring you over here. Come here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I had to strategically plot myself there. Oh, boy. Yeah, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I was just trying to fucking deceive you so you can be on my lap. You're sniffing everywhere, oh my god. I'm in a new spot, I must sniff everything. Oh my god, because I brushed you yesterday, now you're just so soft. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so soft. Oh. You sniffy boy. Oh. You sniffy boy. I mean, you're the one putting your ear in my mouth. You fucking freak. Oh. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, look at this boy. Look at this boy. Oh my goodness, this is boy. Yes, he is. Just this big boy. Aww. What? Oh, it's a bye-bye. Oh, it's a bye-bye. Come here. Yeah, it's good food. I feel like we've been pelted with rocks and garbage. Oh, fuck. Bye-bye. Look at Joe. Look at this little. Aww. Look at this face. You just so face so happy, sweet. Yes, you yeah. Yes, you. Look at you. Such a good boy. Just a little boy.
Oh boy. Holy crap.
Yeah, you want that? Yeah. Oh my god, look at that. Oh. You let most of it fall away. What, you want me to hold it for you? Oh my god. You little prick. Take a chomp out of it. There you go. Oh, you goofy baby. Oh, you look so happy. You look like a little Roman emperor, just like, yes, feed me, servant, feed me. You know what? I should not be enabling it. Oh, god damn it. I should not be enabling this, but I'm going to. I'm enabling this. Whoop. Here. Yes. Oh my god, yes, Nero. Yes, enjoy your grapes while the fiddle plays, Nero. Yes. You fucking slob, bro. Oh my god. You fucking little mongrel, look at you. Oh my god. Look at you. You're acting like a goddamn fucking Roman emperor now. Look at this face. Look at that face. I'm staying well away from that. Oh, there's a bubble. Look at this bubble. Oh, go baby. Oh, just want some belly rubs. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Who wants belly rubs? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, little feet are going. Little feet are going. Ah, got the feet going. Look at those little feet. Get those little feet. Yeah. I love those little feet going off, kicking off. Oh my goodness. Look at those little feet. Yeah, look at those feet. Oh. Look at those little feet. You're just like, yes. Yeah, I can't keep doing that forever. You know that, right? I can't keep doing that forever. Look at you. Oh, it's so stupid. You little piglet. My goodness. Chungus Doge. He is a Chungus Doge, dude. Buddha 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 Buddha. What you gonna do about that? You're just in this weird position.
That dog has the biggest balls I've ever seen.
They're called peaches. They're his peaches. His peaches dangle from the branches.
Yeah, they were dangling pretty good right now. Get off me! Jeez.
Look at this. Look at this boy. You're a derp. Ah, well, okay, I'm avoiding that. No, get your head away from me if you're gonna start sneezing.
Yeah, good pups.
Oh my god, this boy.
No, I'm not touching the peaches.
I'm not touching the peaches. See, they're a lot more amusing when they're called peaches.
Well, pictures.
These little peaches.
Oh, crap.
You silly boy. You're just a goofy baby. You and your little peaches. You freeze peaches. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm sick as a dog, so...
Well, I mean, at least mentally wise, you are pretty sick, Zukov. You are mentally sick in the head.
My ears.
You're sick in the head, Zukov. You are sick in the head, like a little cyclamont.
Go back to sleep. I got food.
Little cyclamont, you're sick in the head. What is this? What can you explain this? What? This is what a cat does. Like, they contort their body. This is what a cat does. A cat contorts their body in a weird fucking angle, in a position that they shouldn't. And yet you, as a dog, are doing that. You're not a cat. Yeah. Yes. You're not a kitty. Right. This guy's taught him well. Well, considering that, you know, he's at least been around, I mean, he's no longer around, I can tell at least it left an influence on him, which is good. Bandit left an influence on you, and that's good. You have the ways of Bandito within you. Yeah, you do. You got some of the ways of Bandito in you. He influenced you as a little baby. Oh, you fucking degenerate. I fucking miss that cat, man. Frankly, I still really haven't gotten over that. Frankly, it just gets me more in the mood to fucking just like go coyote killing. Frankly, if anything. And sadly, you're not really exactly capable of doing any of that. Oh, that dorky little fucking face says everything I need to know, which is that you're not capable of doing shit for aggression. So, shame, shame, bro. Shame, shame. Gonna make you a proper hunting dog. Yeah, be aggressive, but he will hump the shit out of a leg. Funny enough, Zukov doesn't really do that, but he will do that to females. Like, anything of the female persuasion, he will do that with. Like any woman, he will do that with for some reason. It's... Like, I mean, see, he will do that, you know, pretty frequently with, like, any, like, biological, like, female persuasion going on. He hasn't really done that with me at all. Like, he won't be here just like, well, gonna hump your leg now. Like, he's actually surprisingly not that much of a horn dog. Again, until, like, basically the female biological hormone persuasions start, you know, being in the air, and he's like, I wanna fuck that. I smell the estrogen in the air. He's saving up until he meets a real horse. I guess that's putting interspecies into a whole nother fucking level. A dog and a horse? That literally couldn't even, unless it's like a mini pony, and even then, like Zukov, like a Saint Bernard, yeah, with a mini pony, but not like with Zukov. He's too tiny. Like, you would literally have to like hold him. Like, you would have to hold him, and then like have unironically someone guide him in, and then, you know, there you go. Like, I mean, like, I mean, he would just be like floating. He would just like be floating in midair, just being held up by his arms, and just like, all right, I guess I'm here now. His arms just like way out over here. My God. Honestly, just the imagery of that is just more fucking comically hilarious more than anything to me. What the fuck? That just wouldn't even work. I don't even think in that circumstance it would have fucking work. What the fuck? Oh my God, dude, what the, well, man, this fucking, like, man, these streams get goddamn fucking degenerate at times. What the fuck? Well, don't mess with the claw. The claw. I'll get pretty fucking degenerate with it. My God. Look at so. He already has like 2 girlfriends anyway. That's what happens when you mess with the claw. I know, and the thing is, he already has like I said, 2 girlfriends. It's been a while since we had a troll in here. I honestly literally want a fuck. Like, should I just, like, you know, one of these days name a stream like Trolls Welcome Here or something like that? Like, unironically, like, I fucking want a troll in here. Like, one of these days I get some alcohol and I'm just like, have a day off. You know what? Thursday. I got a day off Thursday, doing it. That's the day. Trolls welcome, you know, like, let's, you know, or, yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna say trolls enter here, or, like, you know, or something like that. I want trolls, like, and I want, like, I just want shitposting trolls. I want to see these fucking trolls, man. It's been a long while, dude. Because, you know, there might be some people that'll just pop in and out and just dip. But there'll be some people like, oh, this guy looks like troll-worthy. I see why he's doing this, huh? You know, so, I don't know. It'll be good for some content, though. I mean, you know, I mean, the only way to see if it works is to just fucking try it, so. Yeah, I think this, you know what? When Wednesday comes around, someone needs to fucking remind me. I feel like I might forget, knowing my stoner degenerate ass. I just realized if I fucking just was about to drink this, I was gonna get splashed in my fucking face. I don't want that. See, that's what I mean. Like, if a fucking troll just, like, you know, was in here, he'd be like, lol, so wasted, he was gonna fucking, like, splash his face. Or some shit, dude. Like, you know, there'd be some motherfucker. I mean, that's honestly kind of why I wish I was kind of on Twitch again a little bit. Because, like, the trolls would show up. Like, they would just randomly pop in. On top of legit people wanting to kind of see what I was about. I mean, YouTube, like, the one problem with YouTube is that its algorithm is fucking garbage. Like, you basically have to, like understand its, like, innards inside and out, and even then, you know, it changes on any given day. So, it's like, I mean, it's like, it's basically playing with some fire. You have to, like, you know, really figure out the algorithm, and honestly, a lot of it is also really catered to things like YouTube Shorts and shit like that too. So, I mean, I wonder if I did like some shorts, you know, not like, you know, at least every now and then. I wonder if that would do something. Obama's president of France, changing my mind. I'd go further, but that would mean using slurs. Yeah. So you think, wait, hold on, yeah, let me go back up here. So you love to sing socialism, clue well, clearly you haven't heard of Joseph Stalin. And if you just work hard, you'll be able to afford your rent, and actually, imperialism is good. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I didn't think it would show up. You're like, wait, I saw that. I saw that little stick of something. Oh my god, you're looking like, hey, what was that? What was that? Oh my, you little bastard. You saw that. Why did I do that? Okay, I can't tease you. Sit. I won't make you obey though. Sit. 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 Paw. Good boy. Stand up. You're like, I just want it. Stop making me do tricks. It's like, it's too hot for that, you assholes. Just let me have it. Prick. Frankly, it is pretty hot in here. I put some ice in this fucking water bowl and it's still got water in it, so I don't know why they ain't drinking it. It's cold. Weirdo. Try to do it, but I feel like those points so well thought out, not just knee-jerk reactions. Yeah. I mean, it's like there is an art to trolling and shit, but like it's kind of why I want them in here, because I want to see like how many people are kind of, you know, knowledgeable in the art of trolling. Because I remember, like, I don't know if it was a Patreon stream or not, but I remember Paul doing a stream, and a while back, like probably a year or so now at this point, where he literally went like half of his ideology just talking about the art of the troll. He's actually had a couple of these things, but there was like straight up like a whole, like half a stream just dedicated to it. Like he's mentioned it in like, you know, like little quips and things like that, you know, since, but I mean, it's like I don't know, I don't remember the name of the stream specifically, which kind of sucks, because I mean, there is legit like a whole art of trolling. I mean, when it was like going through the whole thing, I was like, yeah, you know what, you were right. There is like a whole like element to like the art of trolling and shit, because there is kind of like an art to it. Because you don't want to necessarily just kind of go right off the bat with the troll. You want to kind of like, you know, let people's guard down a little bit and then start trolling them. Which, you know, that's legitimately like kind of a troll art. Like you want to be able to like, you know, do your troll, but at the same time you want to be able to make sure you're in there enough to where their guard's down to where they don't immediately see you as a troll. Because if you just go in there trolling right off the bat, they're just going to immediately ban you and, you know, or kick you out or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, if it's like a live stream, chat, or, you know, subreddit, whatever the fuck. So, you want to kind of like, you know, weed your way in there, you know, and not seem so trolly at first. But once their guard is down, then you start trolling. That's the trick to it. The art of the troll. It's like the art of the deal, but it's even better because it's the art of the troll. It's even better than the deal because you're actually going to do even better business. Let me just tell you, it's very tremendous. Very tremendous. The alternative deal has nothing, compared to this. Believe me. Tremendous. Trump depends. I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further. I have altered the deal. Pray do I not alter it any further. You worthless little peasant. Whoa. National Geographic fucking pulled a flex on their community hub. On a community post on YouTube. First of their kind experiments suggests the world's largest predatory fish, the great white shark, can switch between dark and light gray in a matter of hours. Great white sharks have a surprising secret weapon in their arsenal, camouflage. Of course, because of Nat Geo, their fucking link is going to say you need to subscribe and be a subscription member, to Nat Geo, and I don't want to do that, so, fuck you, Nat Geo, a little bit low-key. But I imagine the comments will explain it, so I want to see if that explains it. Dawn and dusk are their favorite times. You should always swim at dawn and dusk to not see them coming. I wonder when Mother Nature is gonna finally relent and give them freaking laser beams attached to their heads. Oh my god, okay, people are memeing. Can we not have memes? Oh my god, there's a fucking comment that is proselytizing. Oh, humanity, obey your Lord who created you and those before you so that you are saved. And it literally goes on beyond that. It's just like, dude, why is every fucking anything on YouTube that's related to science, you're gonna get these motherfuckers. That people that unironically proselytize on Christianity or Islamism or some shit. Oh, this guy's an Islamist. He's quoting the Quran. Quran 2:21-22. The Quran, I guess, chapter 2, verses 21 to 22. I don't know how they fucking do it. But this motherfucker's literally quoting the goddamn Quran. So, yeah, point proven. It's either Christians or fucking, Muslims that are fucking literally, bots that will, anything that's science related will be there. Fucking doing the same shit, man. I hate it. Fuck. And it's literally about sharks, great white sharks, being able to, have, their melanin essentially be able to do some camouflage and shit, which doesn't surprise me, honestly. If I had to take a random guess, it's probably because, their skin, they sense when it's either light or day. And if the comment, even though it's a little bit of a meme, is saying that they prefer, to hunt during the dusk or dawn times, that, their skin / melanin, their overall camouflage, okay, that kind of hurt, all that type of shit, it's best suited in those time periods of the day. So, it's just while they're great white sharks, they're not necessarily, white in a sense, outside of their underbellies, but even then, you'll see great white sharks that have, some very dark, top skin, or, some very light gray top skin. And honestly, that kind of explains it because, that they're able to change, depending on what time of day it is or where they are, in comparison, to the waters and shit. Because, if they can, in a matter of hours, be able to change that type of shit, there's all sorts. Man, this is why I love the oceans. Because, there's so much, wildlife, whether it's, sharks or fucking whales or octopuses, squid, fucking crustaceans, whatever the fuck it is. There, like, in the oceans, there's so much complexity that's going on that we just don't even we can't even comprehend it. I mean, it's just, it just boggles my mind, and I love it. I just love it. Because, like, I mean, knowing the fact that, like, I mean, great white sharks can do that is, I mean, that's a little, like, mind-blowing to me. It's like, they can fucking, like, do that shit? It's like, I mean, what? I mean, that's some, like, crazy shit. Because it's just, like, you know, a part of their evolutionary adaptation on how they fucking, you know, like, survive, and not just survive, but also, you know, just, you know, like, hunt as, you know, predator and make sure they, you know, they can feed. So it's just, like, it's just, I mean, well, I guess thus survive, but, like, I mean, it's just, like, I mean, you don't really hear, like, any other sharks being able to do that shit, so, I mean, that's some cool shit. It's mind-boggling. Like, any fucking, like, science discovery to me is, like, always mind-blowing to me. Because it's just like, whoa, you know, I mean, it's so fucking cool. Like, I mean, the fact that great whites, you know, can, like, change their fucking, you know, like, skin, you know, based on, you know, the time of day and camouflage of, you know, surroundings and things like that. I mean, that's fucking legit. I mean, they're not the only animal to do that. So it doesn't surprise me that they have, you know, an adaptation in their evolution that, you know, accounts for something like that. I mean, like, octopuses are an excellent, you know, fucking example of things like that. There's so many different species that can just blend in with their environment and basically look like, I mean, there's straight up, like, videos or, like, you know, pictures. If you, like, you know, say, there's an octopus here, point out where it is, and you looked at it, you would think, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no octopus here, but there is, because it's so heavily camouflaged because of their evolutionary adaptation and shit. So it's just like, I mean, it's like, if other animals are capable of these things, I mean, why wouldn't a shark, you know? I mean, now knowing that that's a thing, I mean, I'll be curious to see how, like, that, you know, works, really. I'm sure, you know, we're gonna have to eventually find that type of shit out. You know, we probably still don't totally understand. This is amazing. Yeah, because of Allah. Because of Allah! Praise be Allah, inshallah. Sharks, you know, can have, you know, great white sharks can have camouflage. That's because of Allah, inshallah. Praise be to God, O Lord and Savior of Jesus. It's just like, I mean, it's just like, shut up, you fucking weird religious prude. Do you think some black people would do that? Like, oh shit, the cops, and then they change. Like pulling some Michael Jackson shit in, like, in a matter of seconds. All they have to do is just go, and then all the camouflage is just sets. Oh my god. Okay, canceled. We're just canceled. Just canceled. Oh my god, dude. If I run for a politician at any significant level, that shit is gonna be clipped and fucking, I'm gonna be canceled. Like, any political fucking, like, ambitions I may had in my body are just dead in the water right there. Dead in the water. Just like, just God. Shimona! Oh! God damn it. Oh my god, what the fuck? It doesn't make it better than fucking laughing. Oh my god, this does not make it any better. I'm fucking laughing, oh my god. No, fuck. Oh my god. I've seen black guys around Why, no, officer. I was just sitting here drinking lemonade, eating cube cheese and Ritz crackers. You just hear, like, in the distance, like a little hey. Oh my god. Okay. So, oh my god. Okay, I'm canceled. Any ambitions are just, with that shit are just done. When this shit surfaces, I'm done. It's a wrap. It's all a wrap. Oh my god. Oh my. I can't. Oh my god. Oh, I should not. Oh my. I shouldn't be fucking laughing, but oh my god, here I am. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? I feel like, you know, prophesizing the cancellation because I'm self-canceling myself, I feel like equals out the cancellation, thus I don't actually, in the future, really, truly do get canceled, so... I feel like, you know, on, like, some extra-dimensional cosmic plane level, like, it all evens out, so I don't know, I feel like, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but, you know, there's always gonna be some son of a bitch out there who's like, I'm gonna do some digging. And they're just gonna see this and be like, oh, I see. It's gonna sound even more fucked up. Imagine if the reverse of that happens to a cop and he's about to brutalize someone and then the other cops happen to do that to him. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I'm just, oh wait, what the fuck? What'd I even do? Okay. Music, come back, music. Like, I'm just not even gonna dignify that with, like, anything else but just, like, oof, damn. Like, I mean... Oh man, because I can keep going with this, but nope. It might teach some perspective. Yeah, I mean, in that way it would. But, I mean, like, there's fucking, like, you know, like, black ops out there that fucking basically do the same shit, thinking, like, oh, you know, hey, I can basically be exempt if I, you know, be a cop and shit, and basically do the same thing. So, like, I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know if it really is gonna, like, I mean, I would hope, but I don't know. I have a random suspicion that it may not, but fingers crossed. What are you doing? Goofball dog. It feels like it's been going on for a long time, but it's only 2 AM. Seriously? Been going on for just like barely under 3 hours. Feels like I've been going on for like 5 or some shit. Ugh, why does time feel the way it does? Boo. felt so good. Oh, that felt tremendous. Oh, here's need to recommend TJ's video for today. I haven't even seen it yet. Let me see what we got going on here for YouTube's video. That's badass night crack, dude. That felt fucking. Not only did it feel, and it was badass, but I mean, it felt badass. It just felt nice. It felt tremendous. Every now and then, you just get like a really good one in there, and it's like, oh. It's like, one of those like cracks, like you get ready, to like, all right, I'm about to fuck your shit up a little bit. It's like one of those cracks, like, all right, let's go.
It was possible in 2022, right?
You're so quiet, TJ. Let me turn you up.
Since like, I don't know, 2009, 2010 maybe. I don't know if the videos are of any quality or not, but hey, I'm making them, so that's good, right?
Hey.
None of you guys, I mean, none of them have been big hits or anything so far, but you guys seem like you're consistently tuning in, which is cool.
I am.
I see a lot of the same people tuning in over and over again every day. I mean, most of these.
I mean, at this point, I tend to, at least so far for this month. I mean, I've basically been making it like a little bit of a tradition, I guess you could say. Of just basically like watching these as they happen to pop up.
To 25,000, which
man, that's a long one. Damn, he uploaded a long one today.
I feel like maybe if I left some of them alone for a while, they might go a little higher, but fuck that. We're doing daily. I already said we're doing it daily. So that's kind of cool, but I don't know. If my aspirations are going to come to pass, I definitely need to start reaching out to a bigger audience. I don't want to be like one of these YouTubers that, just gets so view hungry that they just make like mass appeal trash. To get the most people possible, because I think a lot of times, that's where the, like, grifter mentality is born. It's like, ooh, they reward me when I say this, and so I'll almost say more of this.
Kind of.
I'll lean into what I think people want to hear. But, I mean, I don't really think that's, like, a good mentality for someone like me to have,
Just on principle, I just don't like that idea, so, I mean, especially at least when it comes to my ideas and shit, I just tend to be pretty straightforward in with how I view it. So definitely don't disagree with that.
See, not just be a conformity
Hiccups?
enforcer.
Are we serious?
Like, yes,
really?
You're already right about everything. I don't want to challenge you at all. Here's your stupid point of view fed back to you.
Let me be a grifter,
people
man.
Who are a little bit more interesting than the kind of people who want that sort of thing. You know what I mean? I want to attract people who have who at least feel that they have a great deal of potential, but they've yet to realize it, or maybe they have realized it, but not to the extent they want to. You know what I mean? I want to attract people who have like inner strength, people who are survivors, people who are free thinkers. People who understand that the world is suffering right now.
Yeah.
And who are like, longing for a more prosperous age in which to live. Because like who isn't really? But it seems like a lot of people want that, but they don't want what it takes to get there. And I want the people who recognize that you can't just go like, man, I sure do wish someone would create utopia already.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Those people suck.
True.
And if you're one of those people, you suck. And that's okay. I suck too. I've not been super proactive in
I mean, I also kind of suck to a degree. I mean, I could definitely be more proactive in these things as well myself.
To get better, right?
Yeah.
I want to like not only attract people who are sort of resistant to the crowd, people who want to find a new way of being, but I also want to create that to an extent, and I want to have that created in me by the people that I have around me. I want a group of people who embrace new ways of seeing the world, who are hungry for the downfall of these traditional structures and the tired systems that uphold them. I want people who feel a bit disillusioned right now, people who feel a bit jaded, people who feel a bit cynical, people who are looking for something grander than what we have, yet content daily to, well, not really content, but like, accepting of the fact that they daily have to trudge through like a million little pieces of like, mundane dalliance with the various institutions of the 21st century. Like, I feel the hunger out there. I don't know if you guys feel it. I feel like some of you do.
I do.
I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm trying to.
I think you are.
I feel like there's this hunger that like burns in millions of you across this country, and probably millions, if not millions, more across the globe. Like, there's this hunger, but there's also this fear. And
I mean, so much so that like people in like Sri Lanka and Albania are fucking, starting to at least, make their voice heard and shit. So
that if you step out into the unknown, you're gonna find, the monsters of the abyss. Basically, you're afraid to take that deep sort of dive, that leap into the abyss, because you're afraid that nothing's gonna break your fall. But like, I don't know, all change is like that. It's why people fear change in the first place, even positive change. It's like, the saying, like, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. It's fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft, who, whatever his personal failings might have been, knew a thing or two about fear. He invented horror as it exists now. Like, he took it away from, like,
very cosmic horror,
the ghost story, and he made it more about the alien, the creature, the thing from beyond,
the cosmic horror.
And he said the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. And I think for that reason, nothing is harder than leaping into the abyss. Now, I say this stuff, by the way, as a very fearful person. I don't know if it's my nature or if it was my nurture. I had parents that were very, like, overprotective. I don't know how many of you guys have overbearing, overprotective kind of parents like I do. But, like
I kind of did halfways, like my mom was. So, I mean, she was definitely pretty overprotective in a lot of ways.
My dad didn't even want me to ride.
I mean, honestly, in a way, probably, enabled a lot of more of the, like, inhibition of, like, kind of fierceness, because she was very, very hyper protective and shit like that, considering her more Christian conservative background and shit.
Scared of, like, no, he was
the
like
whole
mad
nurture
at my
thing.
Mom when she bought me a bike, and even then I had to wear the helmet and the not shoulder pads, the helmet and the elbow pads, the knee pads, the shin guard I mean, just all kinds of ridiculous stuff, all over me. I felt absurd.
He just fucking bonked his head. Luckily, I didn't have to do shit like that, though. Like, if I was playing around with my bike or scooter, I mean, I was just down my street, and frankly, my mom didn't give a fuck. If I came home and I had some, like, scratches and scrapes and bruises because I, wiped out, she was like, oh, are you okay? And if I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Or, she would just be like, okay. And if I was like, no, this hurts, ow, can, you help? And she would actually, be like, okay, be like the whole mama thing or whatever the fuck about it, but...
In my neighborhood...
Luckily, I didn't have to at least do shit like that, but like, oh, you gotta wear all the hyper protective gear. There was just basically, like, the only thing she gave a fuck about was just the helmet thing. Like, that was pretty much the only thing she gave a shit about.
That stuff, when they were riding their bikes around, so I looked like a freaking doofus. It was what it was. My mom, that was the only way she was going to allow me to ride a bike is if I was, if I had all that stuff on. And so I don't know if stuff like that kind of made me the more fearful person that I became, or if it's just something like innate in me, because like the fact that
at least for me, maybe probably more rebellious,
overprotective, fearful parents, it might be a genetic thing. I don't know if it's upbringing, I don't know if it's genetic, it doesn't really matter, it's in me, right? There is this sort of like fear that exists. And I'm not afraid of everything, right? I have fears, most of my fears are pretty superficial things, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not afraid of a lot of abstractions, right? I'm more afraid of the, like, heights and spiders and snakes and, stuff like that.
I mean, I can't really necessarily laugh because, I have similar things. Not like that, but... for me, it's not like heights, but it's like falling from them or beyond like unsecure heights and shit like that. Like if I was on like a ledge and there was like no securement over like, like let's say I'm like 50 feet up and there's like no like like railing or something, if I'm over a ledge, like I'm not gonna be near that ledge. I'm gonna be like 5 feet away from it, like kind of looking over and shit, if I'm like wanting to peek over, you know, what that ledge is and shit. I mean, but if there's like a railing and I know I could be secure, I'm gonna be up against that ledge and kind of like peeking down and be like, whoa, you know, and stuff. But it's because like it's not necessarily the heights that get me, it's the fact that it's not secure and the risk of falling from it is really more so the fear of it, which I think is where fundamentally where a lot of people's like, you know, fear of heights come from anyway. But for me, it's a lot more like kind of secured in, well, I guess no pun intended, secured in the sense of, you know, like the fear is in the unsecurement of it, you know, more so than just the height in itself. Like being on a plane, for example, like I could be like 35,000 feet up in the air looking outside of the window of a plane and be totally fine. But like, you know, if I was like 35,000 feet up in the air on like a tiny tower with like, you know, this like little pipsqueak little wire railing or some shit, I'm probably gonna shit my pants, you know what I mean? Like like I mean, it just, at least when it comes to the height aspect, it, you know, it depends on like how it is and how secure it really is. Yeah, so at least when it comes to that type of specific type of fear and shit. But yeah, I mean, a lot of my fears, you know, like I said, tend to be pretty abstract. Like certain bugs, like funny enough, this crane fly just kind of flew by me. But like I used to think as a kid they were literally just these fat ass, just oversized mosquitoes. And only like for the last couple of years I realized, oh, they're just literally like just they look like them, but they're not. Like they're, if anything, they're literally harmless. I mean, so, like, there's some, you know, at least, you know, honestly, still with certain bugs, and, I mean, honestly, even frankly, with certain spiders and certain things, like, there's definitely, like, an abstract fear of certain shit. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of, like, within human nature and shit. Like, you know, fire to a certain degree, you know, if it's not, like, secured or contained like this, you know, like, that tends to be a major, you know, kind of fear for me. Because, honestly, like, my biggest, like, scariest fucking way, at least for me, to die and shit would basically like anything that involves fucking fire. So like, at least for me, a lot of my more abstract fears are based around, you know, this shit. You know, more so than anything. It's not like, you know, I can't, you know, be like, oh god, I'm gonna be scared because I could do this and be fine. But like, you know, if there's like, you know, like a wildfire or some shit, that shit's gonna fucking, you know, get my primal, like, oh god, I'm scared fucking instincts going haywire and shit. Because I remember, you know, because, I mean, that was honestly, you know, the case, like, back in 2020 when seeing at night the red glow of the fucking wildfires when I was in a potential evacuation zone, not even an evac zone, just a potential one. You know, where it's like, you probably want to get ready and shit. It's like, I mean, when's the year is going to be the case when I have to evacuate and potentially, you know, come back to my and my house is fucking all, like, burnt up to shit because of fucking wildfire. I mean, it's just like, that type of fear, you know, I mean, to some degree abstract, but in a lot of ways material, but it comes from the abstract fear of the fire in itself, you know, is there. You know, and it's just like, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's probably more paranoid because the likelihood of my area getting, you know, caught in a wildfire is pretty minimal, but still, it's, I mean, like the town just south of me, Oregon, you know, like Oregon City and shit, like that, like they were evacuating and shit. That's not that far away from me, you know, so it's just like, that's like 10, 15, like, miles away, like 30-minute drive, give or take, or some shit, not even. You know, so it's just like, well, yeah, probably about 30 minutes. 30. It's just like, I mean, it's a little trek away. I mean, it's like that fucking close. It's like, yeah, definitely something to be fearful of.
Abstract fears like fear of loss, or fear of like general misfortune or malaise, or fear of like, I'm not going to achieve my legacy, or whatever the hell. Those kind of fears are, you know, maybe like a little bit more, you know, like controllable or deal withable. You know, they're more tolerable. I have ways of overcoming them, I guess. Whereas I don't have, like, I cannot not.
I mean, at least when it comes to certain aspects, like climate catastrophe, there is, but, you know, like, not always. At least, I guess for certain aspects, like the fear of like the whole legacy thing, like that is most certainly controllable. Like, I mean, if you're like fearful of that, you're just kind of silly. It's like, oh my god, my legacy. It's like, how many people, you know, just like are basically like a little blimp. I mean, it's like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, I wouldn't worry about that. But like the whole idea of like, you know, being, you know, fearful of like, you know, like the loss and shit. Like, I mean, with, at least with certain aspects of like climate catastrophe and shit, can't really control that. I mean, I guess you can control if you're going to be within the path of something like that or not, but I mean, realistically, depending on social economic conditions, do you? I mean, certain people, you know, there's a lot of people that do, or at least have a potential of doing so, but there's plenty of people out there that don't.
It's by my fear of heights. Like, I can't walk by a high place without feeling like the strong, powerful urge to, you know, get away from the ledge or the window or whatever it may be. You know, because I feel this very disconcerting sense of like, you know, vertigo. You know, where it almost makes me like dizzy in a way. So, you know, mostly I don't have very many abstract fears. Probably the most abstract fear I have is like pertaining to like social phobias. Like, I'm wary of strangers. I'm uncomfortable drawing attention to myself in public, which I know is ironic. I'm uncomfortable doing something like painting
I definitely feel that.
my nails or something like that, which I've done before. There's been times, you know, way far back that I've had my nails painted, and I've not. The reason they're not just like always painted is not because I don't want them to be, because I actually really like it, but I don't like how it makes me feel when I'm out in public. I don't like painting my nails in public or having them painted in public because it's always made me sort of self-conscious. I've always felt like the strong urge to like hide my hands from people. I've never felt comfortable standing at...
I mean, honestly, it's like, it's kind of how I feel, at least when it comes to my more like feminine side, at least, funny enough. Like, I mean, weirdly enough, like, I could definitely pass as more of like a feminine male, or like even, you know, like cross-dress element type of shit, but it's just like, in a weird way, I mean, I'm still definitely kind of self-conscious, and just like how he is when it comes to even the most benign thing is like painting nails, because he, you know, like, at least when it comes to the whole like aspect of expressive femininity, like at least when it comes to like our current modern social construct of the idea, like painting nails is more seen as a feminine thing, not as a masculine thing. Right? Honestly, frankly, I don't think it fucking matters, but I mean, that's just kind of how it's seen. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like, just kind of like TJ, you know, I definitely, you know, feel those type of same self-conscious feelings, at least when it comes to being out in public. I mean, things like this, or like in my own personal abode, or with my friends, it's a little different, and, you know, it could be a little more loose, but if I'm just, you know, on my own and out in public, it's definitely a lot more different.
No, like, I've always stood out because I'm tall, and, you know, I don't usually have very conventional hair. I'm very pale. I act unusually, right? Even if I...
It's just, that pretty much describes me. I definitely have a very unusual way of clothing myself, because I usually kind of stand out with what I wear versus other people. So I definitely, you know, feel that.
Very, like, fidgety, and, you know, I have a lot of, like, weird little, I don't know, quirks. Like right now, I mean, they change based on the era of my life. Like right now, my quirks are kind of like I click with my tongue a lot without really intending to. It just kind of involuntarily happens. I snap my fingers, especially this one. I'll kind of just be walking along and just like snap it. And I'm not even really good at snapping, so it's like a lot of times it's pretty quiet.
Also, one thing I've noticed, at least for me, is that, at least especially if I start getting like angry or pissed or something like that, I tend to like do a lot of like face rubbing shit, like in this type of shit. Like, I've noticed that, at least. So it's like kind of a random little mannerism. And I'm trying to think of what other random little mannerisms I may have when it comes to these type of little like anxiety quirks. I think like this little like kind of like like kind of like this little like shrug tick type of thing. Because I know I do that pretty often.
I'm actually kind of glad I'm not better at snapping, because otherwise it might be more attention grabbing than it is.
Oh, I know one thing I definitely do is I definitely do kind of like a lot of percussion style type of things where I'm like, or some shit like that, you know. So like sometimes I'll be doing that, or I'll be like, you know, I'll just kind of like start doing random little scatting or singing or some shit like that. I mean, so. I mean, like, if any, at least for a lot of my tics or mannerisms, tend to be more musical oriented, or if anything.
Fidgety.
Not thinking about
it.
it.
You guys have seen me like in videos and stuff, like doing the rocking back and forth thing. I'm not doing that right now, but my legs are going like crazy. You know, I've been clenching my jaw lately, which is kind of a new one. You know, and I have these are pretty new things as far as like what's going on, like in terms of the nervousness and stuff, but like. They're only new in the sense that they are like, you know, kind of like the most recent manifestations of a long-standing sort of like nervousness, like this like nervous energy that just kind of broils within me all the time. Which, you know, maybe that's ADHD, or maybe it's just, you know, an excess of energy that I don't know what to do with, or whatever. But you know, the first manifestation of it is I used to chew on things just relentlessly, like a teething freaking puppy or something. You know, I'd have, you know, when I went to.
I kind of honestly, now thinking about it, like, I mean, a lot of his mannerisms or a lot of his tics that he's talking about are very similar to a lot of mine growing up and shit. Like, I mean, chewing on things and stuff. Like, honestly, like. Especially when it came to like hoodies, like hoods, like, you know, like the little hoodie strings, or hell, like even like, you know, not necessarily like the bottom shirts, but like the hoodies of them, like the bottom, like where that little bottom band is, like I'll do that a lot, or like the little like band that'd be around the wrists and shit. Like I've done like why are a lot of my mannerisms similar to fucking Tilly J's and shit? Like what the hell?
We had uniforms because I was at a private school for a time.
Ew, gross. I feel so bad for him.
The uniforms had little collars and stuff, and I would just relentlessly sit there and like just gnaw on my collar, right? And all of my collars had, you know, chew marks all over them. And, you know, then I would chew on plastic things like the pen caps and like the little rings around the edge of like a Coke bottle, you know, stuff like that. I just chew it. And then, you know, I stopped doing that.
God damn it, why are you explaining to me?
But I started smoking cigarettes, and that was another manifestation of it. Lasted for years, and now it's like I clench my jaw, you know, too much. Like
I think a lot of it for me is more like nail chewing and shit like that, and also not necessarily that, like callus chewing in front of the fingers, like in front of nails and shit. Like I'll do that instead of the nails and shit. So that's like another thing. And also just kind of like the calluses on my hands and shit. I literally do it honestly fucking. Like this is definitely a fucking mannerism because I do it goddamn all the time on stream and shit. I just know I fucking do it. I mean, it's just like a common fucking thing.
Just clenching it.
Definitely a mannerism of mine.
I'll cluck my tongue and stuff, especially if I'm in like a social setting and I don't really feel comfortable in a social setting, or I like am gonna wait like around people I'm not comfortable with. I'll start.
Yep.
Going. Why? Because that's not a great thing.
It's either just out of pastime or anxiety when I start doing it.
To do.
Like, at least for me, when I start doing that shit.
And, you know, snapping fingers and stuff. But these are not, like, lifetime things. These are just, like, the most recent manifestations of the same nervous...
So make me hyper aware of myself, you son of a bitch. God damn you, TJ.
It's been around me for a long, long time. As long as I can remember, really. And, you know, it's hard to overcome those weird little things, you know, and it's equally weird or difficult to overcome fear. You can't really overcome your fear is the thing, which is to say you can't erase the feeling of fear from yourself. You can't just wave it away and voila, it's gone. And I think that's kind of what people want.
Yeah. I mean, it is a part of the human condition, so unfortunately it is something that's a part of us. Like, I mean... As much as people want it, we can't really necessarily get rid of it.
To just be like, I just don't want to experience the fear. But you're going to experience it. Like, you know, that's why there's the old cliche about, like, you know, he is afraid, he's just facing his fear, right? You know, like that's what true bravery is basically. Is not being afraid. It's facing
The only
fear.
thing you have to fear is fear itself.
And we hear that, but we kind of just go, whatever. What we really want, though, is that first thing. We just don't want to feel the fear. But that's just not how it works. You know, you just have to learn to deal with the emotion of fear. Just like I had to deal with the emotion of cravings when I quit smoking cigarettes. You know, like, I mean, to this day, you know, 2 years and some change later, like 2 years and 1 month, I think, at this point, you know, since I've last had a cigarette or any sort of nicotine product whatsoever.
Fuck yeah. Good job, TJ.
You know, and I the cravings still exist very much. It's just like I'm better now at dealing with the emotion, but it's been a daily thing. You know, you can't just quit smoking and be like, well, I've now defeated the smoking demon and I can move on, you know?
It's unfortunately still going to be there because the whole like kind of craving mechanism is just kind of, you know, there now at this point. It's just about whether you have the fortitude to, you know, keep that up.
Exercise, like the demon of smoking is exercised from your being and now you're free, but it's not like that. You have to learn to deal with it. You have to learn to fight it and defeat it, not once, but every day for the rest of your life. And that's tough.
Yep.
You know, most people, I think, no matter what they want out of life, the main thing that holds them back is fear. And it's not just true of individuals. You know, I'm talking about societies as well. Like, there's so much fear in America right now. It manifests in a lot of ways, but it's essentially the same fear across the board, right? It's the fear of trying something new. It's the fear of embracing a new way of being. It's the fear of making radical changes to our society, because we would rather rot in stagnation than push ourselves forward to an uncertain future. Because if we try something new, it might not work. And even though what we're doing now demonstrably isn't working, at least the way it's not working is familiar to us. Oh, it's the devil we know. Much better than that devil we don't know, right? But that's not a mentality it's not a mentality of a winner. It's not, a person doesn't win like that.
It's the mentality of a defeatist, if anything.
A country doesn't win like that. No configuration of people wins through conservatism and fear and, you know, risk aversion. Because if you look into, like, the biographies of, like, most major historical figures that have made big differences in the world, one trait that I'm guaranteeing you're not going to find very often, I'm not going to say you're never going to find it, but one trait you do not find often is risk-averse behavior. This country was founded by guys who, and like, I understand they're pieces of shit in a lot of ways. You know, they had slaves, they raped slaves, they did nasty things. I get that. I'm not talking about like the founding fathers as these great moral angels that we should look up to as like, venerated compass. But one...
I mean, if anything, they definitely deserve a lot of criticism.
Thing they did have, you can't argue, they had balls. They were willing to
they definitely got that.
Commit treason against the crown in hopes of starting their own nation. And if they failed, there would be ropes around their fucking necks. That's ballsy.
Well, I mean, if anything, they wouldn't be a neck to do that with because their heads would be off their bodies. I mean, either way, it's the same premise.
Great things, you have to take great risks. That's true on a personal level. It's true on a societal level. Like, no great work of art has ever shone above all the rest because it stuck to convention extra hard, you know? It did all of the tropes that you expect really, really well. You know, like, that's the way you can make a good piece of entertainment, but you're not going to make a great work of art that way. You know, that's when, if you want to make a great work of art, you have to know how to defy convention. You have to know how to... defy convention in such a way that what you're doing not only still makes sense, but is better than what came before it. And maybe it won't even be recognized immediately.
I mean, really, fundamentally, just challenging the orthodoxy. I mean,
maybe it
really.
will take some time. You know, and that's something you have to accept if you're going to defy convention. But without defying convention, you're never going to do something great. You know, it takes courage. And it's not, you know, you can't... We talk about great military leaders, great politicians, great actors, great architects, any sort of, you know, person that excels
I mean, there's straight up like
area.
conquerors are literally called the Great after their fucking name, like Frederick the Great, Alexander the Great. Like, I mean, there's also the Great Khan, you know, for Genghis Khan and shit. I mean, that's literally the Great King is the exact fucking translation to that name. So it's just like there's always this name, you know, or like the whole term of greatness and shit attached to it. But I mean, it always seems like it's, you know, used for more malintended gains and shit, but really the greatness, you know, comes in for a lot of shit that kind of challenges a lot of these type of things, you know, that if anything a lot of these people upheld as the orthodoxy and shit.
They are, you know, driven to succeed, or where they have ambition, all of those people are risk takers. All of them. I mean, maybe there's an exception or two here and there, but like by far, but you know, like most of them, by and large, almost every single frickin' one. Just go like read the biographies of frickin' people who changed the world. It's not like, and then they made the safe, normal decision. Because if they did that, they wouldn't. There's not gonna be a fucking book about them, okay? Unless, like, sometimes people are just in the crazy place, crazy circumstance, and history just throws greatness upon them. But that's not the common way that it happens. You know, and it takes a lot of courage. It takes looking the fear of failure in the eye and saying, like, fuck you. Not just once. Not just once, and it's defeated. You have to do it every single day, even when you don't feel like you can, even when every part of you feels like a failure, even when there's not an ounce of strength left in your entire body, your entire spirit, your entire being, and you just feel like, fuck this. I give up. I don't want to fucking fight anymore. I'm just so tired. I'm so weary. You still have to reach deep the fuck down inside. Look the fucking failure demon in the eye and just say, fuck you. 'Cause I'm not gonna be your bitch. I'm not gonna be beholden to you.
Fuck fear ain't gonna be your bitch.
Cause you're just a nattering little chattering voice in my head. And there's nothing good that's gonna come of it.
I love the dismissal TJ has about it. I love it.
Listening to you has never brought greatness for anyone. It's never yielded one good fucking result in all of history. You suck. Go fuck yourself. And that's hard, though. It's hard for because that demon is persuasive. You know,
it is.
Voice of.
I mean, that's honestly why there's like a whole ideology behind the whole premise of fear and shit. Like, you know, the otherization and fear and like skepticism and just like, you know, dismissiveness of anything that is outside of the general orthodoxy that you've grown up culturally around. I mean, like like the whole, you know, idea of manipulating fear, you know, for that type of shit is, you know, not necessarily a new thing, but like, I mean, especially these days, I mean, it's not necessarily odd that like this pretty much like whole political parties just based on exploiting that type of fucking emotion out of people. Because it is for good reason, because it's such a very easy thing, you know, to manipulate people into when exploiting their fear.
You know, but instead of using your fear of failure to just be like, well, I give in. I give in and I give up. You have to use that as like a fire under your ass.
A log, yep.
But that way of being, that's a taxful
gasoline to
place
put on a log.
That's a stressful place to live. It's a trying, grinding, you know, soul-breaking, back-breaking place to exist within. But it's how we have to be, because it's the only mentality, in my opinion, that can save us. Because timidity is going to kill us. Passively waiting for someone else to come be our savior is going to kill us. Stubbornly clinging to the way things have been done is going to kill us. Retreating into tradition is going to kill us. Being afraid to embrace new ways of seeing and new ways of being is going to kill us. It already is.
True.
And I guess that's it for today. I hope you all have a great one. Love you all. Peace.
The fuck out. a damn. Man, like pretty much every video TJ has been putting up every day so far has just been based and amazing. Because, yeah, I mean, honestly, he definitely isn't wrong. Especially with the whole emphasis on, like, the fear, when it comes to, sticking to tradition and sticking to the devil, and just sticking to, what works. Because, we're so fearful of the devil that we don't know. I mean, because honestly, there really was, like, a mentality of, like, fuck you, I'm gonna, do it my way type of shit, not really just in America, but, like, just, within, like, our, within humanity and shit, and it's still there, but it's just, like, it's not as, like, strong and, like, poignant as it once was anymore, and it's, like, where the fuck did that go? Where's that fucking spunk? Where's that spunk in people? Because, it only really truly matters if, we, like, everyone's, getting into that fucking mentality and shit. If only, like, a select few are doing it, I mean, like, what, it's like, really, what good is that really going to be able to do? It's like, yeah, it kind of, throw some fire out there a little bit, but, I mean, it's like, it gets, I mean, if it's just going to get put out, then, it's like, what are you doing? Booba. Oh, look at that little pretty face. You pretty little sweet boy. Yeah, it's 2:45 on the dot. Yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking I am pretty fucking hungry right now, so I got some enchiladas I want to eat in the fridge right now, because I've been staring at those for the past 2 nights. I'm like, you know what, I need to eat those right now. Those sound really fucking fire. I'm kind of putting that in the back of my mind, and it's like, shit. Alright, now I really gotta eat them tonight. They sound amazing. So, I think I'll get this bowl smoked up and do all that fun shit. And you little handsome boy, you're looking like a sphinx. A little doggo sphinx. You sweet handsome baby. Anyway, I'll go for the rest of the lovely evening, so peace out, and I shall see y'all until the next one, so